right, we'll see how many come in. Put some links here. Excuse me. Hi guys, how are you? Hola, how's it going? Oh, let me see if I can post that in the chat, you guys, for the baby. Hi there from Texas. I love Texas. I want to come back down. um, see if I can find it. I have it in my community board too, I think. So I'll let some people come in here before I start for that. Sorry guys, I've been drinking soda and I know soda's bad, but I'm craving carbonation so bad with this pregnancy. It's unreal. So, um, yeah. 30th birthday? I didn't mind 30. I'm 36 now. So, I don't know. Age is just a number. Just remember that. I think my hardest birthday was like, was it 21? I think it was 21. Because it was the realization that, you're not really a kid at all anymore, Um, Otherwise, I don't even, age doesn't bother me at all. I've never really been bothered by age. It's kind of weird. But I feel like I'm 23 all the time. Or 24. So that's how I see it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get the link. It's in my group, I think, too. Hi, Natasha. Can you get the link for my Amazon baby list? Is it? I think it's in the group. So I had an interesting day. I should just like not be allowed in a city whatsoever. Don't go to Costco's, you guys, and have a diabetic attack or anything like that. And, take your mask off so you can breathe for a minute because, oh my gosh, I got totally attacked today. It was like insane. I think it was a test, but um, it was interesting. It was interesting to say the least. Yeah, we're doing okay. Yeah, I can't handle like larger cities, you guys. It's just not for me. I can't do it. Um, where they're like really pushing all of this agenda and stuff like that. I've just realized today that I can't do it. I get drained, I get tired. People are getting so rotten and nasty, you guys. Oh my gosh, people are so nasty. It's their only defense is to try to be nasty. So, um, anyway, my Costco experience. Okay, you guys know I don't like mask wearing anyways, and it gets me really panicky. But, whatever, I can handle it for minimal amounts of time. And I walked in, and a lot of times when there's toxicity in the air, And in Minnesota anyways, I mean, Minnesota nice cold as ice, right? And my energy started to drain and I started to turn white. So obviously I'm not feeling good. My blood sugar starts to drop really fast and I could feel it because I start getting shaky and I can't really breathe very well. I just get panicky and stuff. So I pulled the mask down to like take a breath, you know, and I was gonna go like sit down or whatever. And I was by myself with two of my children, and immediately 3 employees came up towards me and was like, mask on, mask on. And I said, I'm having an attack. You know, that's why I said I'm having a diabetic reaction. They didn't care. Mask up, and I pulled it up over my mouth and then like over the nose, over the mouth, just complete dictation. I said, no, I'm having an attack. And they kept on and on and on, and more of them came up to me. It was just complete targeting. And you know, I said, fuck you. That's what I said, because when you have if you have diabetes, you guys, and you have lows, it's like you're in this delusional state, or you're not delusional, or I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you're not really connected to your body, and you have like anger, or you just kind of daze off, stuff like that. So that's kind of where I was at. And they kept on yelling at me about the mask, okay? And I kept my middle finger up and I said, fuck you, like 4 times. And the guy laughed at me. And I'm like, okay, so if you're really concerned about a virus, why would you laugh? You know, like, why would you sit and mock me and make like a mockery and a laugh? You know, that's what I'm thinking. And then I realized, you know, they're targeting me because they thought I was an easy target, okay? They were testing me. I was alone, a female with 2 daughters, okay? And they probably thought that I was a vulnerable woman with children alone, right? And I do feel that in that state, the vulnerability and, you know, that sort of thing, a female, sometimes it's easy to try to control. So I realized that's what they're doing. Okay, and I just kept on. I kept my middle finger up for quite a while. I have like the worst temper. When there's injustice behavior, you guys, like, I flip my shit, okay? I lose my shit. And I can't tell Costco what to do with their policies, but when I'm about ready to faint, no, don't even start with me, okay? And anyways, my husband found me, and he's like a really big guy, okay? He's really huge. And when they realized that I had a partner with me, they backed off around the corner, and he kind of had his arms out and stuff, and they're like, oh, hi, sir, you know. I had the instant change, and I realized, oh, it's because I'm female. I see. Because they prey on people that they feel need a dictation or a vulnerability. Does that make sense? And I'm like, you know, this is where the feminist movement kind of went wrong here. Like, you know, let's start defending the right things here. That females get preyed upon, okay? And let's not go against men that some of them do want to protect or help protect their families and that sort of thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So females do get targeted, yes. I would say today is one of the first experiences where I felt that I was being targeted for that reason. It didn't even dawn on me right away. And I still don't really give a shit because I still defend myself. So sometimes you do have to fight with fire, okay? So sometimes you do have to fight fire with fire, okay? And, you know, love and light, sure, I do as much as that as I can. I spread as much as I can. But today I was fucking pissed, okay? I just lost my shit. All right? and then this woman, you know, it's sometimes it's some older females, you guys, are like the most hostile about things, okay? And this older woman looked at me like I was a defiant child, you know, and I just and she had her mask on, but I could see her going and I'm just like, I just said, we're not buying anything here. I'm not buying a fucking thing in this store. And we walked out, and it was just funny because as soon as my husband came around the corner and, you know, was like showing that he's protective of his little girls and stuff, like that was the end of that. Just bye. And they were like, you know, contacting security. I could feel like people were coming in towards me. I could feel energy coming in towards me. So they were going to try to target me throughout the store. I could feel it, you know, and I'm like, oh, we're getting out of here now. And they were on their walkie-talkies, you know, and I'm like, aren't you just big badass? Woo! And I even said that on the way out. Big badasses in here and just big badasses. Go home, take care of your wounded self. I was just like so mad. And, you know, I realized that some of these people, they're given this power. Okay? They're given this power. And they are wounded individuals a lot of the time. Okay? So, it gives them euphoria. It gives them euphoria, and I feel like the big guys behind a lot of these large corporations know that, so they give these little guys this power, and they abuse it because it makes them feel good. It compensates their lacking. It's exactly what these people were trying to do to me today, and I was like, this is a test. This is a test, and then I reacted with fire today. So, you know what, you guys? I know you want to be nice, and I know a lot of you are so loving and you're overly nice, but sometimes you just gotta be a bitch, okay? And don't be scared about that. When it comes to injustice behavior, do not be scared about that. Because I will defend myself, I will defend my children, I will defend anybody I see getting treated with injustice. I don't care. Okay? I'm not out just to be mean. And, you know, I'm not going in a store intentionally running out without a mask and being cocky about it. Nothing like that. But, you know, when it comes to that, you know, I don't have time. I don't have time. So then we left Costco and I threw my membership card in the garbage because I'm never going back. And we went to Target and they just left me alone there. Nobody really said anything. I can't handle a mask very long. I just can't. I panic. My heart rate just pounds. And I had it off most of the time, and people were just interacting with my kids and like super nice, and it was on a different side of town too. So I don't know, but nobody said anything in there. Not a word. Okay, not a word. So I wrote a review on the Costco page today on Facebook. Oh, thank you for the support. And I actually met somebody through that page because she had a similar situation today in Costco's. And I started communicating with her. So I met a friend through the page on the Costco page on Facebook, and she was very spiritual as well. So, you know, we all get attacked at the same time. We all get tested at the same time. And I feel like the AI sends out these tests to prey on our last little bits of insecurity and our last little bits of vulnerability to test us out of it, okay? So well, Pat, you know what? I do have disease myself, okay? And I can get infection very badly. But I am responsible for my health. And so are you. And when it comes to a mask on and about ready to panic and pass out, I'm going to take it off. If you don't like that, get the fuck off my channel. Thank you. This is the kind of shit I am talking about. Not dealing with it. We are responsible for our own health, you guys. We are responsible for our own actions, our own issues. I don't care. I'm not tolerating that shit. That's what I'm saying. Stand up for yourself. Okay, stand up for yourself. Look at John right there, okay? Fiery Aries. He has 3 autoimmunities. Okay? He's not going around and telling everybody else to tiptoe and walk on eggshells for himself. Okay? I really don't have time for it. So unsubscribe to my channel if you think the world should adapt to your fucking problems. Alright. I'm sick of it. I'm sorry. I'm just fed up today. Maybe I'm moody. I'm pregnant. I don't know. I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it. Okay, if that's selfish, that's fine. I'm not disrespecting anybody's issues and stuff like that, but I'm just sick of it. We're responsible for our own goddamn health. Okay, I'm just sorry. I'm probably gonna lose subs, but whatever. Oh, it's horrible. Well, yeah, Natasha has a child with diabetes as well. Um, and if her child doesn't want to wear a mask, she can't force her to either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just saying, I'm not dealing with it. I'm sorry. I'm just not. Like, you know how many times I've had that said, or I've seen that said to individuals? Like, you know how many people I know that are elderly that don't even wear masks, you guys? But everybody's like, oh, you're not going to protect the elderly and all this stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they're so lonely and heartbroken and aching in these nursing homes alone. That's heartbreaking to me. Okay? That's heartbreaking to me. And you know how many times I got told today that I'm a big baby, basically, because I'm about ready to faint, so I take a mask off? That's fucked up. Okay? So I'm supposed to faint with a mask on so you feel protected. Fuck you. That is just a dictation. That is a dictation. I don't give a shit. And Costco can have any policy they want. That's fine with me, but I'm not shopping there. It's fine. That's fine. Okay? So the far left Costco can have their way. Sorry, I'm a little bit bitchy right now. I'm so sick of these comments. Like, I'm just so sick of this shit. Like, okay, I just better shut my mouth. Um, it is mind control. To me, it represents the mark of the beast, and shit's getting real. Yes, Natasha, I actually was reading an article the other day, and it was like really sad that some of these elderly would rather be euthanized. And I was like, oh my gosh, like it just gave me chills. This is a sad world. But other people are worried about a mask because they have an autoimmunity. I think a lot of people have an autoimmunity. A lot of people have it. There's a lot of this world that has autoimmunities and has, you know, things they struggle with. They have fears, they have trauma. The whole world does. The whole world does. Okay? So, yeah, and it's not all about the right side and the left side necessarily. It's not about the views. It's not like that. I have views from both sides. I have for a long time. But wake up. Wake up to the control. Wake up to the artificial intelligence here. Wake up to the larger picture here. It's not that hard to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's to the point where I don't even want to go to the doctor to do prenatal care. Okay? It's to the point where I don't trust anything. And that's probably an insecurity on my behalf I have to deal with. Okay? So it's like you can't trust anybody. And I know I'm being tested today with these comments. I know I am. And I put up this review on Costco about today and, you know, the disrespect. And I got a whole bunch of remarks and they're exactly the same type of remarks. And I just kind of like let it go for a while. And then I said, to get fucked. Okay. No more comments after that. No more comments. And I'm like, maybe sometimes you just got to defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, Costco can do what they want. But I'm kind of curious. If somebody came in wearing a certain, headdress for the religious purposes, or, wore certain things or dressed a certain way because of the religious beliefs, would somebody tell them to leave because of that? No, and I wouldn't either. But somebody, is supposed to pass out with a mask on to protect everybody else. Okay, so what if somebody had a seizure and needed CPR, so you keep the mask on? it doesn't make sense to me. So that's where I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah, there are people awake in the hospital, and that's where I've had the best luck, honestly, with older male doctors for some reason. I don't know why, but that's where I've had the best luck. I have been drawn to awaken people. Um, my husband has been divinely protected so many times in the hospital environments. It's unreal. Unreal. And we look back, we're like, how did that happen? What was all divine protection? Um, so, and I've had that as well. I've had a few of those incidences in doctors where, like, there was a therapist that changed my life. The one and only therapist I ever found that I could relate to. So, it's frustrating. And I'm sorry I flipped my lid, you guys, but I'm just so tired of it today. I'm so tired of it. I understand everybody has an autoimmunity. I understand that we all have trauma. Okay, I get that. That's part of my work is to help you guys through that, but I'm just sick of this shit. It's like it's projection. It's all the time. It's constant projection. Okay, I get it. I'm probably projecting out my inner wounds right now because I'm angry. You know what I'm saying? I know this. I recognize it. I am pissy today. Okay. Um, I'm hormonal. I'm just like, I'm annoyed. And I'm also like, what next? What next? What next all the time? Because I still have, issues around the control tactics of this whole system. And my husband reminded me of that. You're not allowing yourself to be fully free. That's why you're getting tested. And he's right. He's right. Because I have concerns about being pregnant. I have worries about birthing my child who I can trust. So he's right about that. I'm not fully trusting the divine right now. So, and when you're in that state, you get more tests because they're like, hey, you're stronger than that. You know what I'm saying? So, the person in my chat had to remind me that everyone needs to mask for them. Get out of here. I don't want to hear that today. I just don't want to hear that shit today. Well, my hormones are off the chart, yes, and I've been in pain a lot because this baby's like sitting so weird. I don't know. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Oh, I got the hiccups really bad. This baby's kind of sitting a little weird, so I've had a lot of pain in my back lately, and I'm just not, I'm just a little moody. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, I got 2 things off my baby wish list today, you guys. A swaddle and then a book for the girls. I think it was for the girls. I'm not real sure. I didn't look too good. I just opened it a minute ago before I got on here. So, yeah. Yeah, and he's a fire sign boy. He's wild in there. Yeah, the system, I don't trust it. I don't even want to go back to the doctor anymore. I don't. I don't trust it at all. I don't like getting tests done. Um, yeah, I did read that Virgos are being tested with their like last little bits of their karmic cycles, you guys. So like that's our insecurities and stuff like that. And then I'm a Leo cusp as well. And Leos have a huge, massive part in this age of Aquarius because it's the opposing sign to Aquarius. So actually Leos have a massively huge part in this world as well. So, and my husband's a Leo too, so we both have a lot of tests in that. So it's unreal. Like this test. Yeah. So if you're a Virgo and feeling bitchy today, I feel you. Well, happy birthday. I have an Aries rising. When I'm mad, you guys, like, it's not cute at all. Like, I hardly ever get mad, but I don't know much about... We're exiting the age of Pisces. I haven't looked much into Pisces. Pisces is my opposing sign and also part of my karma, so I don't click the best with Pisces all the time, and I have a Pisces daughter. Um, so that's one sign that I need to get to more of a balance with, I guess, is the Pisces. Aries males can be very challenging, and this baby I'm pregnant with is going to be an Aries, so I know a lot of Aries men, actually, a ton of them. In my husband's family, the men are all Leos and Aries, pretty much. So, and my dad is, I think he's Aries. I know a lot of Aries. They're very, very, like, they're very in charge, very stubborn and stuff like that, but it can get toxic real quick. So, the Queen of Virgo, yeah. I like having my Leo mixture with it, my Aries rising, though. It just kind of goes good, but I'm a little bit feisty. And I'm normally like, I don't know, I try to be as loving as I can. Sometimes I'm like, God damn, just leave me alone. The one thing I can tell you about Aries boys, you guys, don't baby their ass, okay? Because they can be mama's boys, okay? Don't baby Aries, and no, just don't do it. Because they can turn like real narcissist real quick and real toxic, and you know, they can be a bit manipulating as well. All right, Leos can be a bit like that. Leos can be like that too. So fire sign boys in general, don't baby them, don't over baby them, okay? And that's going to be tough for me because this is my only boy and stuff like that. So yeah, I think John's kind of a cusp a little bit too. But I know John's got a temper too. He can get feisty. He defends himself too. He's more the healthy side of the Aries, you know, spectrum. Because some of the Aries men, they're just so cocky and shit. It's annoying. So annoying. Yeah, I like being a cusp. And then Leo's a fixed sign. Still, I don't know. Alright, so we'll see what's going on with the feminine collective. Bet a lot of you are experiencing some challenges today. Oh, Aries moon, that'd be feisty too. And then my sun and my moon are exact same sign, so that's kind of cool. I've seen that Aries boys could be real mama's boys. No, Aries women are not the same. Some Aries women can be really know-it-all, though, and annoying in that aspect, because I know I feel like that, but for the most part, I get along with them really well. And then I have a Libra daughter, and Libra is a very feminine sign. There's something with the Libra and Aries signs this year. I can't remember what it is. And then her name's Freya, too, so she's, like, extremely, like, powerful, I think. Like, she's very strong-willed. Very strong-willed. I feel like some of you, okay, some of the feminine today, you guys might be getting into a more, like, I don't want to say like a childhood wounded place, but you are being kind of fucked with today, okay, or poked at or something like that is what I'm seeing, or tested with the Page of Wands here. That's how I'm seeing that right now. So it may be by a masculine energy, it may not be, but I feel like you're being tested and poked at today in general, okay, to see if you're going to go back to some immature ways or something like that is what I'm seeing here. So, you know, I see this as not a bad thing either, because I feel like for some of you it is to bring out a side to yourself that's needed to defend yourself. I feel like some of you do need to defend yourself a little bit here. Okay, and I just don't feel like it's a bad thing. Okay, because, you know, we've been told light and love, light and love, light and love, which yes, spread light and love, but have boundaries as well. Defend yourself. Tell people get fucked if you have to do that. Okay, it's just part of the whole thing. It's all about the balance. So if you feel the need to do that and somebody's poking at you, by all means do that. Okay, otherwise we get walked all over the place, guys. We're doormats. Okay, we're doormats. So you are being tested today to see if you are going to defend yourself or not. Yep, that's what it is. Exactly what it is. Okay, and some of you are going to be like, but that's immature, you know, this or that, but it's not really. It's to defend yourself. And it's also to see if you're going to bring your empath side in. And I feel like that is being tested as well. And that's where it comes in, where people are like, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to care, you're selfish, you're da-da-da. You get what I'm saying? So your empath side is being tested. And for some situations, you guys, checking out of the empath side or picking your battles with that is needed right now. Okay, we're literally in a war. Okay. And the empath gets sucked dry. Okay, and I swear to God, you know, when you walk into a store like Walmart or something, they know you're a holder of light. The dark side is running out of sources of light. They literally come at you. Okay, whether it's to target you or whatever, because the dark side of everything right now is running out of ammo. So right now it's bullying, it's testing, it's poking, it's all these different things here. Testing your empath side is a big one. Feel sorry for me, you know, that sort of thing. You don't care about me. You don't care about this. You don't care about humanity. So you're going to get tested there, because some of you are putting the boundaries up to your empath side, so you're getting tested with that. Oh, well, you're selfish. You don't care about humanity. When you, sometimes you got to think for yourself. That is okay to do. Today I almost passed out in a damn store, and I'm going to think about myself. I'm a mother. I'm pregnant. I have kids. All right. And if that's selfish to that person who's in this chat, then so be it. Damn, you know, it's like you can't please everybody right now. So just remember, it is okay to detach from the empath side. Checked out 10 minutes ago. You have to, because, you know, I was that type of person, you know, I've had a bitchy side all my life and that sort of thing, but my empath side was easily tugged at. Feel sorry for me, or guilt tripped, or shamed. And I was that type of person that would fall for that, you know, a lot of times. And now it's like, no, defend yourself sometimes, people. Okay, defend yourself, because we all have our wounds, right? So it's okay sometimes to do this. It's okay to check out from that. Don't feel ashamed. And when people notice that about you, they're going to be like, oh, poke, feel sorry for me, poke, you know, that sort of thing. You're going to have that. This is where your strength's going to be tested. Yep, it's your nurturing side, you guys. It's your nurturing side. Okay? It's that motherly side. And it is karma around a lot of you. You have karma around females, okay? You have karma around your mother for a majority of you, okay? And sometimes when you grew up in a situation, and it doesn't have to be your mom, it can just be women, it be ancestral patterns with women, that sort of thing. You're trying to do the opposite, okay? You're trying to overcompensate, and then we go too far the other direction. That's what a lot of you are doing. That's where a lot of these empaths, these over empaths come from, as well, as people are taking advantage of your nurturing side, or maybe you grew up not feeling nurtured or not feeling love, so you're overcompensating with your own children, you overcompensate with other people, that sort of thing. Okay, this is where the balance is being gained. Yes, and a lot of you have that kind of situation in your own patterns that you're trying to deal with right now. Okay, so you are being asked to just trust faith here with that. You know, defend yourself. Don't feel ashamed for defending yourself right now. Okay, because there is lines where you have to do that. You don't want to be full-blown selfish asshole. Me. Expect the world to cater to you. It is about balance after all. But don't feel ashamed for, you know, turning around and taking care of yourself and doing what's best for self. If I would have passed out and had a diabetic seizure today, it's not always a good result, right? So it's okay. It's okay to do that. It's okay to nurture yourself. I feel like some of you are questioning your identity right now and you're questioning who you are. There's some sort of massive shift with the feminine energy going on there. With the Hermit in reverse, that's what I'm seeing right now. Okay, and this has to do with your inner feminine. This has to do with a distortion in inner feminine. This has to do with a wound in your inner feminine, which is the heart space a lot of the times, okay? It's weakness, and this is where the wounded one empath comes in, and this is where the wounded empath has been used by the higher ups to give to, you know, do these things and, you know, that sort of thing. So it's coming in as your feminine energy. So patterns with females in your family, patterns with your heart space, giving too much love, you know, giving love to emotionally unavailable people. And these people giving you grief and poking at you, are they there for you when you need it? Probably not. It's all just control. It's all just their wounded self. Okay? And, you know, you can send them love and light, but have boundaries, because everybody deserves that divine love and light. But some of them are trying to get it out of you so they can just run with it at the same time. And some of you are experiencing that with the masculine as well. With a male in your life, or a masculine, or somebody that you're in a relationship with, is they just take your energy and run, that sort of thing. Okay? So you are being asked to keep in tune with yourself. Okay? You're going to feel like people are trying to deceive you right now. You're going to feel like there's, you know, people intentionally doing shit, you guys. Unfortunately, harsh reality with friends again coming in, with, you know, people in your life, that sort of thing. So these things are going to test you, bring you back. Don't let it do that. You're going to have a lot of jealousy. Jealousy is a big one. That is one thing the wounded feminine energy struggles with the most, is jealousy. Okay? Envy and jealousy, and, you know, sly behavior because of it. It's all insecurities. Okay? So there's something with jealousy here. There's something with taking all of your love, draining your empath side, poking at your empath side, poking at your stability, that sort of thing. You guys are doing what I call jumping back and forth between the timelines right now. And this is because you're not into your full potential right now. Okay? And I do feel that you're doing that. Which timeline's the right one? Where's the balance? You know, and you're going to have people in the dark timeline. They're trying to trigger you right now, bully you, poke at you to get a reaction so they can get your energy and run with it. Because they're running out of resource, you guys. And you got to let them just run out of it. It's the only way we're going to collapse this. And I do feel that by February, I've been picking up February for a long time, that the darkness of this system is going to be fully revealed. What's going to happen there, I don't know. And I'm talking about the system that's running us from behind the scenes here. Okay? There's going to be some blocks that are going to be removed for you. There's, you know, and bad things taken out of your life, or people that do not have your best interest that are taken out of your life. There's going to be good replacements coming in, so don't worry about it. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel like you don't have any friends. Okay? You're going to feel like nobody cares about you sometimes. That's normal feeling. Okay? It's just part of the process, and finding yourself and that sort of thing as well. Yeah, a lot of the feminine jealousy is run down in generations, but masculines get jealous too, but it's still, I feel like it's mainly on the wounded feminine energy, because we all have both in us anyways. So Some of you need to protect yourself a little bit more. I'm hearing this as well because you have some vulnerabilities and you have some inner wounds that are not healed right now. Okay, and this is where people are able to come in and feed on this off you. All right, that's what I'm picking up. You guys are not in a full, like, how do I say this, a full state right now. You have some wounded energy coming in really strongly here. And when you're like, you know, in a pretty solid state, but you still have, you know, a little loose ends that you're working with or a little bit of insecurities, it's like people come in and they pull at this. Okay, so what I'm kind of picking up here is there's been some blocks put down a little bit, so you have some tests here with that. Okay, to test your inner strength here, to test your fears. Okay, this is all happening for a reason. You're also having a harsh realization that, you know, perhaps what you thought was your life purpose, perhaps what you thought was your path isn't really your path anymore. Okay, this has been coming in for the feminine energy for quite some time. Maybe, you know, certain individuals around you, just you've outgrown them. Okay, you've outgrown your environment. You've outgrown certain things. I've outgrown going into the city and trying to go shopping, for example. Not worth my time right now. Okay, so there's been a major illumination here with that. That, you know, you're loving, you're giving everything. You want to give love and light because it's been told love and light, love and light, love and light. Well, yes, correct. That will heal. That will help the world. Everybody deserves love. But at the same time, when it comes to divine love, everybody wants it, but they don't want to give it back. Okay, they want to take it and they want to run. They're scared of it, but it fuels them. Okay, so I'm not saying don't give it to them, but conserve some for yourself, you know, and conserve some for the people that are coming in that have it to give back to you. Okay, and divine love, it comes from source, it comes from within, it comes from a consciousness, it comes from a light within. That's where it comes from. Okay, and some of these people, they don't have that. There's people that don't believe in God. When God is primarily belief in yourself, and divine is becoming whole within yourself. So there's so many misinterpretations behind that, and I feel like religion and dictation has gotten behind a lot of that, because there's nobody above you controlling your divine self. There shouldn't be. Okay, because God works alongside with you. Okay, that is how it's supposed to be. We work together like that. God works alongside with you. God does not dictate you. Okay, but a lot of these people that are coming in and trying to grab at your divine love and your divine self and rip you apart and have this jealousy of your confidence, they have a wounded heart space. They're fearful. They don't even want to believe in God or divine at all or anything like that. They want to follow a dictation. They want to be controlled. And they don't even know why they're drawn to you. They don't even know why they poke at you sometimes, you guys. But it's because you feel them. Okay? So that's where, like, you know, understanding that your divine love needs boundaries with individuals, whether it's a man you're dealing with or a woman you're dealing with or anybody. Okay? That's extremely important right now, especially. Okay? Because you deserve it back. And so many of you, like, you're waiting on somebody to give you love that's not willing to do it right now. And if you go to bed crying at night over a man that doesn't have love for you or isn't giving back to you, even if you're with this person in the same household, there's something that needs to change, because there is love out there for you from other people. There is exchange out there for you with other people. There is people of your soul family coming in. Okay. Oh, yeah, lone wolf. I know about that kind of stuff too, with people that you care about picking at you. So I know about that. And I do feel for the feminine here with the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. You want a counterpart here that's going to reciprocate that divine love. That's what you want. Okay? And you're feeling a great sense of loneliness here because you're not receiving that. Because some of you are dealing with a masculine that's in the 3D illusion, that's just in the matrix, that's dealing with a program version of love and not the heart space version of love. They're in the old timeline yet. They're very much materialistic, you guys. They're very interested in the feminine energy here I'm picking up on. They like the energy that she gives off, but they're not ready to embrace it. Okay, they don't understand it. They like what you represent, how you make them feel, but it's like they're scared. It's like they're scared. Yeah, a lot of times it's the opposites. So we'll see what's going on with the masculine that you're dealing with, you guys, or your own inner masculine energy. Yeah, that divine love post, that's what I'm saying. And you don't have to force yourself to love somebody that you don't love. You know what I'm saying? But to sit and wait for somebody to give you love that's not giving it to you, but just taking your love and running with it, it's going to drain you. If you go to bed lonely, you go to bed crying at night, and I know some of you do that. You go to bed hurt, go to bed in pain, but you're waking up to this. Because you're feeling the consequence of this. You're feeling the consequence of sitting in an environment with people that don't have open heart spaces. Okay, you're feeling the consequence to it. You're suffering, and you're seeing this though, because I know most of you watching, you're aware of this. So you're having these boundaries. You know, you don't beg for it. You know, you don't chase for it. You know, you can't force anybody to awaken. Okay. That's the thing. A lot of us, or all of us, we were essentially raised in an environment where love was taught with the mind. There was conditions behind it. There were stipulations behind it. And this is the entire world. This isn't just poking and picking at one particular, situation. This is everybody. It's the old timeline. And some of you, you had these hearts as a child, okay? And you wanted to love, and you had this love, and you turned to outside sources for this love, whether it was bad behavior, whether it was, animals, okay? And, you had people around you that said that they loved you, but then they had conditions and stipulations on it, and you so badly wanted to give that love because you had this open heart, and it got taken for granted. Because some of you were born on earth just to help with the ascension and with the awakening process and with raising the vibration. Okay? And you just didn't understand why your love wasn't accepted, why who you were had conditions, why who you were was not good enough. Okay? And this is where this new timeline, your place is coming in, who you are is coming into place here. And what divine love is starting to show here. So it makes sense now, right? But so many of these individuals are still in that old timeline of what it's taught to be. And that's where a lot of the masculine right now, they're holding on to what they think love is. Because they're refusing to embrace the heart space opening. Because they're afraid that these individuals they're living their life for are going to leave their life. And that their comfort's going to be gone. What they don't know is they're going to have their comfort taken away either way, because there's going to be a rug ripped from under their feet. Okay? But don't allow this individual to sit and suck on your heart space like that and go run off and go play while you suffer. Because that will just take away from your mission and your balance and your whole purpose of why you're here. Because you've allowed that since you were a child, you guys. So why would you keep doing that, right? Because it's no different now than it was then. So then what happens when people take all your love and take all your energy, you start doing the self-numbing things again. You start engaging in addictive behavior again. You start, and this can be your kids, you guys, draining you. It's anybody, really. Your friends, whatever, co-workers, I don't know. And then you engage in these behaviors to get the euphoria because you're getting drained of your love, of your nurturing side. So don't let this repeat anymore. Okay, don't let this repeat anymore. Yeah, and the thing is, there shouldn't be sides, but, like I've been saying for a while, it's going to be more sharp because the sides have been codependent on each other for how long? Okay? It's codependency, but now we're breaking free from the dark, right? That's what we're working on right now. Like, I don't need to go to Costco's. I don't need to go to the big corps, okay? I'll be fine. I'll find a way. So that's what I'm being tested with right now, is getting out of that timeline completely, because obviously Costco's is part of the old timeline. So it was a test for me today. Okay? So, yeah, and the dark timeline, you guys, they only love for money, personal gain. That's where there's going to be a lot of people that you thought had all this love and light that are going to be disappearing, because that's what their intent was the whole time, right? And, I tell the truth, and when people get pissy at me and stuff like that, that's fine. But I do come from a place of love when I do it. Even though I come off bitchy and stuff, But Don't repeat this shit from a child, because a lot of you are repeating this shit from a child. Okay, you're begging for love, and even if it's with adults and you're an adult now, you're still doing it. So it is time to get out of that codependency. And these masculines are doing the same thing, except their heart spaces aren't open, so they're using you to feel themselves. And they're sitting there begging for love from other unavailable people. So you get what I'm saying? So it's sad, but it's true. Because right now they're scared to embrace awakening. Okay, but I do feel that their codependency outlets here are being cut off. Okay. And I think, you know, like my husband had to break codependency cycles. Okay, he was born here with that obstacle. It's not easy, especially when it's part of your birth chart, literally. But a lot of men, they don't want to admit it at all. Oh, I'm a big man, I'm codependent. I'm not codependent, but they are. Horribly. Horribly. And the thing is, with the dark side of things, you guys, the cord cuttings, yeah, he does really good at the cord cuttings. He's like not human or something. Like the clearings he does are just unreal. I don't ask him for them very much though, because I need to learn how to clear myself. I don't want to be dependent on it, but yeah, he's really good. So, but the whole thing, you know, with the dark side of things right now, you guys, they're trying to make us miserable, okay? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, because I know what I'm saying is the fucking truth, okay? The higher ups that are running us, like a bunch of slaves, essentially, are running out of power. They're dying off, okay? So they're literally trying to bully and scare us so they can come in and save the day. Okay, and these masculines are still riding on that system, and they're not wanting to see that. They're not wanting to admit that they're codependent on all of this dark shit, because this runs down through the population. That's why these people are bullying right now. That's why people are acting like this, and the masculines dealing with that shit at home, because some of them are trying to change, some of them are trying to break free. So you could be in the same house with this masculine and they're a bit moody and stuff like that because they have pressure probably from their families, okay, or something like that. Okay, or just pressure on themselves, or, you know, work, that sort of thing. And they're trying to change, and they got people around them going, oh, what are you doing that for? You know, that sort of shit. That's what I see here. But they are gaining some wisdom here about unconditional love. There you go, your validation. Okay? They are learning what it is. They know what it feels like. They know that what they're sitting in, or what they grew up in, isn't it. But it's the stubbornness. But stubbornness is not going to get you out of this stuff. It's just not anymore. Okay. So, I feel like they're kind of, they're scared, but they're more open to the wisdom that some of you are providing, or just some of the other side of things are providing in the regards to unconditional love, or they're just figuring it out. Okay, there's something like that coming in for this masculine. But for some of you, you know, this masculine is still kind of a dick, a little, you know, a little bit, a lot of it, whatever your situation is. And they want to come in and trigger you so they can get you in that wounded energy again, because they get a high off it. It makes them feel superior. Don't buy this shit. That's what these people in the dark timeline are doing. That's what the people at Costco are doing, trying to bully me. They're trying to get a rise. That's all it is. It's a rise. It's control. So this masculine comes in and gets control over you, or triggers you, or gets you upset, or gets you, you know, even playing victim of some sort. And you're not the victim, you're the victor, okay? You're going to be victorious. You're not a victim anymore, right? So they want to poke at that victim consciousness and get that out in you. So you're sad and you're upset, and they can go, well, what's your problem? What's this and that? That's how people play. Okay, they play on the victim. And that's why schools, like, they're teaching our kids how to be victims and shit, and that's not what we want them to be. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So the men, when you educate them, they don't like it. They get so pissy, because I do it to men all the time, you know, like I'll pass on wisdom and stuff, and they shut down. Oh my God, they shut down. Of all ages too. They shut down quick. And I noticed that they don't even know what to say anymore, because they used to get like defensive, you know, like, oh, well, the president will figure it out, or so-and-so figure it out. And I'm like, no, and then it's just shut down. You know, religious mode, you guys, a lot of people are going to religion right now because of the comfort behind it. because they feel like it's going to save them. Okay? Because it's all about control and upper authority. We don't want that. I don't care what religion you are, but let's get that shit out of it, right? It's not control. That's prison. And when it comes down to it, we're scared as humans to be free. Okay, we're scared. I still got issues around it. I still do. I'm not perfect. Obviously, today that was showing. Okay, so yeah, some of you have been communicating some wisdom to this masculine I'm picking up on today, or you've been saying shit to them. And they're probably going, oh, okay, but they're getting something out of it. Everybody that you share wisdom with or plant a seed with is getting at least something out of it, even if they want to laugh at you. Okay, like I know people watch my channel just to laugh at me, and that's fine, that's cool, but please watch the ads, okay, because it helps monetize my channel. Thank you. Alright, so even if they're being defiant with you and going, no, it's black, it's not white, it's white, it's not black, whatever, they're getting something out of it. And it's because they're used to being imprisoned in their shadow, you guys. And you guys are out in the light. That's you in front. That's the masculine in the back. Okay? But you have boundaries here. You have boundaries with this person. Okay? I've had people try to talk me into church too. And I'm not against religion at all. I am against the control behind it. I don't care what I don't care what your faith is. It's whatever. But at the end of the day, I do feel that the control's got to go. The hidden agenda's got to go. The rituals that are hidden in it, the religions have got to go. Baptism blocks the third eye. Okay? Baptism, a cleansing can be a good thing, you guys, but there's some hidden stuff there. Like what my husband does, he does clearings. It's almost like a spiritual cleanse in a sense, but there's a lot of fear. Yeah, fear is where everything is. And I think some people, they're so fearful. And I get told tarot cards are evil, whatever. I think anything can be evil if you allow the dictation in, if you allow that evil in, whatever. But evil isn't always bad either, because it's about the balancing act, right? I mean, you don't want to be evil, like, you get what I'm saying. It's not evil, like, being malicious. But, sometimes having, like, for example, me telling somebody to fuck off and just quit with your shit would be considered evil to somebody. But to me, it's just defending myself and putting up boundaries, okay? So let's see what else is going on with the masculine. Yeah, and I do feel that a lot of the reason why people are running over to religion right now is out of the fear. Okay, I mean, they have to do what they have to do, whatever. It's not for me to judge. Okay, but people struggle to be free. People struggle to not have the control, to not have the dictation. Okay, it is a massive fear to not have that anymore. So they run to other means of it for comfort, is really what it is how I see it. That's how I see it. Because some people are running to religion and then all of a sudden they're following, what the religion says. And it's like, but you're still being dictated if you really think about it. So that's kind of, defeating or defying against having this freedom that we're trying to seek out here. Because the age of Aquarius is about getting into your individual power, which if a religion is part of that, then that's you. That's you. Okay, but nobody owns you and nobody tells you what to do. Like I said, God is supposed to work with you. You know what I'm saying? So no, I do not agree with socialism. I do agree with working together. I can see more of a small community type of thing working together, but I also feel that there needs to be boundaries with that and respect with that and not dictation. Okay? So like for me, I have my beliefs. There might be a little bits of this, little bits of that. I don't know, but I don't call it anything. I don't feel there's somebody above me going, this is what you must do every single day. This is how you must behave. This is what you must do. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But I also know that I have to respect boundaries of other people. And I've also learned to have understanding of other people. But I've also learned to have boundaries with other people. And I've also been learning lately that I need to defend myself sometimes. Okay? So I think are we sneaking up on a full moon? I'm not even sure anymore because I don't pay attention to the shifts that much. But I do feel that with this eclipse, there's going to be a huge cutoff once again with the dark. Okay? The dark side is shit. Yeah, I don't. Socialism and communism are the same thing. And I know I'm going to have someone go, no, it's not. But yes, it is. Same thing. Nobody's taking my property. It's a new one. I thought it was a full one. I don't know. Full eclipse in Sagittarius. Oh, that'll be interesting. We saw, there was like a asteroid or something tonight that went across the sky, and we always see shit that nobody else ever sees, okay? Like, it's unreal. And it was green. It had a flame that was green, and then it split into two. And it went right over, like, the town I live in. And I asked other people, and nobody else saw it. I'm like, how did you not see that? I don't know. I'm like... And there was a few years ago, no, it was more than that, it was like 10 years ago now, before I even really got into, like, you know, awakening fully. We saw, like, a full eclipse go over the moon while we were driving, and my brother-in-law saw it, so it wasn't just us. And it was like 1 minute, and it just went across. I'm like... And we're all just like, was there an eclipse tonight? I'm like, what the hell is that? And I looked it up, and there was nothing about eclipse. There was nothing. And I'm like, nobody's going to believe us. Okay. Nobody's going to believe us. Yeah, Connie, they help a lot. So if you do want to get a clearing, you guys, we have $15 off the clearings right now. The basic clearings, not the emergency ones. And $15 off the basic bookings, which I know I have some emergencies to do tonight. But I got kind of sickly the past couple days. I've been having pain from this pregnancy for some reason. Back pain really bad. The clearings are worth it, you guys. It's an investment, I feel. I mean, Connie said she didn't have side effects. I've heard people say that before. Some people do. There can be like purging and even acne and weird stuff like that. So it could have been that. I don't really look upon angels too much either. I did see it as, you know, a sign of the heart space opening, though. I did think of that. We don't do clearings on other people without their permission. So, because that's like, it can cause us karma. So, like, if you want to book a clearing, like, we don't clear the other individual without their permission, if that makes sense. But there can be cords disconnected, like toxic cords that may be draining off you during the clearing from that individual, and it does help both sides free from that control of it, okay, if that makes sense. So that's the thing, like, you know, some people offer services where they clear other people without permission. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And that's why with my readings, if the masculine is not wanting to be read, I don't do it because it can cause me karma. It can cause me to get really tired, drained, pain sometimes. So there's boundaries with that sort of thing, like respect of privacy, respect of their individual rights. But if there's a cord between you guys that's toxic, yeah, we can remove that. So that's why when I do readings, sometimes people are like, oh, I wish you could have read the masculine. Or I'm like, well, there was a divine block for one, and I can't do much about that, and I have to respect that stuff. So, and sometimes they do get defiant. I've had masculines get really mad at me when I try to read their energies, so I just kind of back off. The cord cutting, yeah, how it's done, and I've explained this before. So anytime we cross paths with people, or, you know, trauma leaves you corded, you can be corded to that trauma, you guys. Okay, past lives too, because my past life readings include some cord removal as well. That's why past life readings are really draining for me to do, so I only do so many at a time. But it removes that energetic cord to that traumatic event, to the individuals, you know, whatever the trauma may be, that sort of thing. Sometimes there's chains because the codependency is so heavy, or there's many lifetimes of the same cycles, that sort of thing, whatever. Sometimes people try to do spell work on people, that sort of shit, whatever it may be. And I'm not talking about outside sources. I know that sometimes feminines are doing spell work as well. So it's removing this off and freeing yourself basically from all of that, from all that trauma. And then energy clearing of the chakra system and blocks and that sort of thing as well. And then a lot of times there's a purge afterwards to purge out that pain. And then it helps you ascend. It helps ascension, and you start viewing things much differently, because these cords can kind of, they can blind you. Okay, they can blind you into things. And also the artificial intelligence, like devices get put on a lot of us to program us to see things a certain way or to blind us. Those get removed as well during the clearings. Third party cords, you guys, we don't trace the cords when we remove them. We don't go tracing them because they go back to so many different things. And some of you may have like a huge stack of them in your heart space, because every time you feel empath towards people, they cord your heart space. Does that make sense? So, and you guys, I don't tolerate any. I'm going to delete all comments from now on that are karmic bashing or blaming karmics for problems and stuff like that, because we need to grow out of that. Okay, we got to stop blaming other people for stuff. And I do feel that in a sense that is just repetitive behavior. So, like money-wise, how they donate, they just send it to PayPal or Cash App, or sometimes people put donations on the chat here too. They haven't tonight, but they do sometimes. So that's why when it comes to like talk about karmics and karmic this and karmic that, and the karmic is the buck, the karmic da da da, you're making karma with that individual. You're bringing on more karma with that individual or with that situation. Karma is an energy, you guys. It can carry down in multiple different situations with different people, that sort of thing. So that's why I'm like, I've been just deleting comments like that on my Instagram. I'm like, you know, we got to stop these cycles, you guys. This is holding some of you back into a victim consciousness as well. Or blaming other people for somebody else's problems, you know, that sort of thing. It's time to stop that. Addictions, I do think they can help it, yeah, because addictions is self-numbing for other issues, usually, you know. All right, you guys, the masculine I'm picking up on is yeah, there's a lot of truth coming out. The masculines are in the background spying on a lot of you. That's what I'm picking up. Or they're watching you. Well, yeah, so every time you blame... I even hate calling people the karmic. I think that is just rude. Because a divine feminine is not above. A divine feminine is to serve and help humanity. And you know, you're not above, right? So I just find it to be rude because I feel like we're all karmics to everybody. We're all a karmic, or we have karma with people all the time. So we can be others' karmic as well. Okay? And it's like encouraging you to keep accumulating karmic debt with people. And I don't want you to do that. I don't want to see you guys doing that. So it's time to really let go of that. Okay? You guys, whatever masculine you're dealing with, they don't want to end a cycle with you. Okay, so some of you, like, okay, I'm reading not so much the energy, but this is a person right now that you guys are dealing with, whether it's in your current life or not, communication or not, it doesn't matter. But whoever this is, they don't want to let you go, but they're like in the background kind of observing you right now, watching you, that sort of thing is what I'm seeing. They don't want to let you go. They don't want to end something. The masculine's having a huge tower moments in the regards to unconditional love, you guys, and what it truly is. Definitely. Okay? If they're not, you know, they might not be claiming they have love or anything like that, or they understand it or something like that, but there's a huge crumbling in the heart spaces when I'm picking up. Okay? Something here is dismantling in their life. Or you pulled away and they had a realization of something here. Or they had this, they're having an understanding here that you had this unconditional love. Okay? So I do feel like that's coming on. They don't want to end this with you because they want your love, but something here is dismantling around this connection I'm picking up on right now. In the feels. In the feels. Somebody's masculine's in the feels. Okay? And they're putting the dick stick away here. Okay? So it's almost like they're trying to balance all of the, like, the passionate. So some of you, if your person doesn't understand love, or whoever you're dealing with doesn't understand love, but they come in with the passion or the dick stick or whatever, I feel like they're trying to put the dick stick away and possibly feeling a little more from their little itty bitty hearts. That's what I'm picking up. Because there's a dismantle here with emotion. There's a dismantle here with, like, what unconditional love is. Okay? I don't know, they're putting the dick in the pants, if that's your story. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, look at you guys. The heart space is dismantling. And when masculines awaken, okay, because I watched my husband go through this, like I told you guys, they experience pain, and the shit fucking hurts, okay? It's not cute. So whoever's masculine this is, or if this is your own inner masculine, take it as it resonates, I don't know, they're in their feels, okay? They're realizing the dick needs to go in the pants. And it's about the heart. Sorry, guys. I just gotta be funny about stuff. Alright, so... Because some of you guys, like, you know, that's another thing. It's like, oh, makeup sex, you know, fucking takes away the pain. Even if you're married to this individual, you get in a fight and they want to fuck, right? You know, and I'm seeing that come to an end here. It's like, oh, I need to deal with situations more from the heart. You know, that's what I'm seeing. And so it's like they're realizing that, you know, for some of you, if you're not in contact with this person, they're realizing that you have love for them. And they're realizing that they have some emotions in their little heart spaces for you. So there's like a little pinhole opening or something like that. Okay, but I don't know here. I'll get some more information. They're in the fields. They're in the fields. They're realizing that when it comes to love, you guys, they're following an old belief system. Simple as that, with the Hierophant in reverse, absolutely. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, and you hear the same stories all the time. Oh, we fought and we fucked and made up. You know, like, it's like sex is love. It's like, you know, these old belief systems. It's just riding the same carousel over and over again. You know, and it's just taught. It's taught. Sex is part of love. Sex and emotion is balanced, you know, that sort of thing, but you get what I'm saying. There's a realization here for some of these masculines. I don't know, you guys. If you feel what they're feeling, you have cords between each other, and I would suggest removing cords. You're not bound to people, especially if it's sucking you dry, okay? Because when people get cords in me, I get real sickly. It can happen with my kids, okay? It can happen with my kids. Trust me, those little spunky kids can drain me. I do feel that these masculines, you guys, they're learning truth about their toxicity. They're learning truth about their toxic timeline. There's something here coming in intuitively is what I'm picking up. They're learning truth that, you know, the Hierophant in reverse, which is the old timeline to me, the old belief system, and they're kind of like, oh, well, it's reversed. Like, you know, the devil in reverse here, that they need to break out of that pattern. Okay, so there's some realization here, but there's still a lot of blocks here. Okay, there's still a lot of blocks. Definitely a lot of blocks. There's imbalances, there's unresolved karma, there's a lot of different things coming in here. These masculines owe you guys, that I pick up on quite a bit here in the collective. They owe you. They know they're supposed to give back to you. They know they're supposed to, you know, start showing you they care. Okay? And whatever your story is, I don't know. But they can't take from you anymore, or they get karma, you get karma. Okay, basically instant. So if they come and take from you, because a lot of you, that's your story right now, you've given way too much and there's a block put up because they need to learn this. If they come and take from you and you give them anything at all, whether it's, because I know a lot of you, you've been used for money, you've been used for your love, you've been used for everything, you've been a doormat. Okay, whether they come in and get $1 from you, you're going to feel like shit. Yeah, my husband is the best, like, cord removal guy. And on my website, which is wickedvirgo.com, there's the cord removals, and it's $15 off with code. What did I do for that one? Christmas, I think, was the code, something like that. But it's $15 off. It's a really intense procedure to do, basically. I call it a procedure because it kind of is like surgery sometimes. But he prefers to do it when people are sleeping, that and our kids are in bed, so we work at night usually. And it's almost like it's easier when you guys are sleeping, because that's why people are like, what time are you going to do it? What day? We don't do the time slots because we can't with little kids anyways. It's insane, so I can't promise a time frame. But if people know when they're going to get the clearing, they're going to be nervous. And what happens then is there's like a huge energetic cloud around them because they're almost like self-protecting out of the fear of the clearing. So, yeah, So it's easier to do it when he knows people are sleeping, because he can literally like tell if somebody's asleep. He's just like that in tune. So it's almost like getting surgery and you're in your anesthesia. So, but we've had a couple that we've done during the day because I've done them too. And there's this black cloud, and I'm like, okay, you need to chill, man, because we can't clear you. You need to chill. And it's funny because he's come into dreams of some of them because they're in tune with it and everything, and we'll see him. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's best not to know when it's being done or you're going to be nervous. So I know some people are like, well, when are you going to do it? What time? Da, da, da. You don't want to know. It's best not to, because some of you're cool with it, but there's some that are like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then, yeah, there's this like self-defense mechanism going on. So some people are so in tune, they see them come and pull the cords out. I mean, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Um, and I think it's funny because one girl, she's like, did your husband like do some clearing on me last night? Because I had a dream that he came to me and was talking to me over like Skype or something like that. And then he said, oh, I have to go now. Somebody's trying to kill me or something. She had this weird dream. And she said that I came on there and said, oh, it happens all the time. And then I asked them, and he's like, yeah, I was doing a cleaning with the kids interrupting me. It pissed me off, blah, 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 blah. So he got interrupted is what she was saying. Yeah, I have a sound machine on. It's the ocean wave. Sorry, I forgot to shut it off. I was trying to chill earlier because my kids are driving me crazy after I was at Costco's and stuff, and I was just kind of trying to calm down, so. Yeah, children. My kids can drain me. Oh, yeah. They get cords in us. Sometimes I can see them trying to put cords in me, and I'm like, uh-uh. Yeah, family members do it, and then when you remove them, they try to get you upset so they can get a cord in you. Yeah. That's what a lot of the masculines are doing, you guys, when they come in and they try to trigger you and get you upset. They're trying to get a cord in you so they can suck your energy. They like it. Sneaky, sneaky. I can feel it when people are trying to do it to me now most of the time. Sometimes they get snuck in, but I reject them pretty easy. This masculine I'm picking up on has issues feeling like a parasite right now. So, I guys, they're feeling a bit parasitic in their environment. Oh, well, karma sucks, that's how I see it. Because some of them were treating you like a parasite. I know that's true. And you cut their ass off. You cut the host off. And now they're feeling that in their environment. If you want to get a clearing for him and he wants to email and stuff, yeah, you can talk to my husband about that in email. Like, my husband will know if it's okay, if it's okay or not. He just knows there's certain things he can't just do without having consequence. So, and if people don't want clearings, they get defiant too. So it's like, just like when I read some of your guys' masculines and they're like, fuck you. Some of them have said that to me, like, get away from me, fuck you. I'm like, okay, dude, I'll just get away from you then. So, yep, some of them do. That's why I don't clear people without their permission. Yeah, if he wants one, he can, I mean, he definitely can. I mean, you don't want him to totally like be chained to you if that's what you're wanting, though. I mean, you want him to be free and you to be free, that sort of thing. You know, but it helps free ties and stuff like that. You guys, these masculines are very jealous of some of you because you are free. You know, I've been picking that up for a while. Okay, they have some envy for you because you guys are doing good. You guys are on the right track here. And they kind of feel like a parasite. So it's kind of like the roles switched here, because I know a lot of you had a masculine here that was trying to act macho and make you feel like shit about yourself and, you know, trigger you to get their energy, feed off you, that sort of thing. And it's like things have switched. Things have switched here. Because all of their stubbornness and hiding their true identity and getting a rush off you and getting a fix off you, like it's coming to an end. I can't promise you they're going to get fixed. I can't promise you they're going to awaken. I can't promise you they'll get out of the old timeline. A lot of them are in the old timeline. And there's just no way to predict that. You know what I'm saying? So, because I get that a lot. Well, is he going to come back? Is he going to awaken? Is he going to do this, that? I can't promise anything. Okay, so yeah, some people will try to get clearings to attach cords too. Oh yeah. You gotta like have boundaries with clearings too sometimes. It's all about saving yourself, not saving the masculine. And that's where the whole concept of divine counterparts, twin flames, etc., the new age information is almost well, it is AI ran to me. There's lessons to be learned. There's, you know, it triggers awakening and shit like that, but you're not bound to anybody. That's the thing. And it's just say, oh, you have this shared, you know, chakra system, and you have this shared and you cords together. Well, then you put those cords into that individual, and sometimes these systems put these devices between you and somebody else to make it there. Well, then all of a sudden you're chained down and you're not growing. And it's like this back and forth crap. So I feel like a lot of the stuff being promoted is AI. That's how I see it. And it's like stopping you from being free, and it's most of all masking what true divine connections are. And there isn't just one individual. There's more than one option. And I'm going to stick to that because I'm seeing it. All right? So there's a lot of AI behind twin flame stuff. That's why I hardly even say the label anymore, because it's like, okay, is this more of a new age label here? Is it the same thing as divine counterparts? I don't know. I mean, it's, and that's why in my readings a lot of times I'll say masculine or feminine energy, because not everybody's in their divine whole self, right? So I'm kind of this like more about ascension and growth and healing and, you know, releasing yourself from codependency and that sort of thing. You guys, I don't know, these masculines, they're getting a lot of karma. I see it. Because, like, this is the validation. They're jealous of everybody. They're going through this jealousy shit here, and they just keep on calling in more chaos over it. Okay, because they want to hide themselves. They're not getting a fix off people anymore like they used to. I don't know. I don't know. Interesting. Honestly, yeah, the new age work, I do feel there is a lot of spells behind it from outside sources, if you want to call them spells, or energetic manipulation. I know there's cords and devices put between people. I've seen it. I've taken them off. Everybody's a karmic cycle freak. Sorry, I got hiccups real bad. Everybody's got karmic cycles with each other. That's how I see it. You can carry on that same karmic cycle with multiple different individuals. Okay, if you don't clear it and heal yourself, right? I don't know. I'm starting to see karma differently as well. Of course there's past lives with individuals. Of course there's karma from past lives, you know, that sort of thing. Of course some people come back in with a harsh lesson, you know, but no matter what the connection is, it seems like there's always karma to be cleared, even with your siblings, your parents, your friends, whatever. Some of you may have the exact same karmic cycles with friends because there's something inside of you that has to shift and change, right? I do believe, but I don't like the name karmics, you guys, because you know what? A lot of my clients learned the hard-ass truth about the karmics that they were bashing and accusing of shit, okay? Because these masculines, they were the karmic. And the other person that they were dealing with, it's a baby mama or whatever, was a victim of their shit. So really watch about that one. There's two sides to every story, okay? And just because a reader tells you that somebody's doing black magic on you, guys, don't go dwelling on it because you'll manifest that black magic to reality. Okay? Because if you don't accept magic and you don't accept it, you guys, you can reject it. It's energy manipulation. It can be done with your mind. You don't need candle work. You don't need all that shit. It can be done with your mind. But you have the right to reject that energy. Does that make sense? Oh yeah, oh yeah. You guys, okay, I have manifested in dark energy because of my own insecurities. I watched it. Okay, I watched it. So, yeah. So that's why going, the karmic's fault, the karmic's doing black magic, the karmic's not. You guys, you're just making it your reality. Even if that person's not doing it to you. Don't accept it. Don't accept it, okay? And for me, I know people have tried their little tricks on me, and I've caught it energetically, okay? And I reject it. I send it back immediately. But trust me when I tell you that some of these masculines you're dealing with, if they're finding somebody else or going back to an ex or dealing with a baby mama, there's been multiple stories about truth behind that. Okay? Multiple stories. So there's some of them, they're serving their family and catering to their family so heavily because there's stories with that too. You know, there's always more. There's always more. Okay? Yes, your thoughts, your words, your actions sometimes, you know, whatever. It's always energy manipulation. It's always energy manipulation all the time. I can hear it when people gossip or something like that, like about me, or, you know, I hear it a lot. It comes to me. So I send it back. I just send it back. Oh yeah, because one day I was sitting here self-negative talking, and there was like a rush of toxic energy that came into my room, and my candle was like going crazy and all that stuff. And yeah, well, their little facades and shows aren't going to work anymore anyways, because they're just going to look stupid. That, and a lot of them are aging. You know, you put on your little fancy show and shit, it's going to show on the outside. Oh, well, the workers at Costco's, I didn't necessarily send them love. No, it wasn't very nice. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. You know, I can't answer individual questions for you guys right now. It'll get me like reading a bunch of people, and I'll have a bunch of energies I'm dealing with. I'm already getting tired. So, but speaking of that, they are feeling a bit foolish about their past, okay? And I do feel they are experiencing a lot of pain right now. Because like I said, A lot of these individuals, you cannot give to them anymore because they've been just taking from you. And this doesn't even have to be a masculine in particular. This can be anybody. And if they don't give back to you, this can be your friends, this can be your siblings, whatever, I don't care. If they don't start reciprocating with you here or giving back to you, there's going to be karma with the imbalances. More karma on your side too. You know, I can handle my test. So negative energy or people like doing that stuff, like I get pissed at the time and then I have to like calm my nerves, but I get over it, you know, I get over it. When you're in more of a leadership position anyways, and you have to learn to be in that leadership position, you learn to really just let it go quick. And then you learn to have an understanding too. Because I understand that those people, they got mad at me at Costco and threw authority around, that they're being used as robots by the upper hand. Okay, and they have inner wounds and they're compensating them. And they're throwing authority around, etc. So I always think things out from both sides. But at the same time, don't fuck with me when I'm about ready to pass out. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, I rise above it and I just let it go. And it's a lesson. It's a lesson every time. So that's how I see it. They don't even know because they're getting this euphoria off it. They're getting a euphoria going around in fear-mongering. They're getting a rise, you know? So, I don't know. So guys, what I'm picking up as well, the masculines, you know, they're in this robotic timeline. Some of you say putting on a show all day. They're very delusional about it. And I feel like, you know, in a sense, I feel like part of them is starting to see it. I really do. Some of them are starting to see that their life is very robotic and it's very like the same shit every day. And why the hell are we born on Earth to do the same shit every day? This is part of the upper elite's plan. Okay, this is part of the upper elite's plan. And some of these masculines are buying it hook, line, and sinker. And there's fear around letting this go because it's Stockholm syndrome. It's Stockholm syndrome. So, and this doesn't have to be somebody that's in their environment right now, like an individual person, you guys. This is the whole world. It's Stockholm syndrome. The fear-mongering is part of the Stockholm syndrome. The higher elite wants you to think that they're coming in and they care about you and all of the systems around it. They care about you and they want you to give them love because you feel like they're giving you comfort, but it's all a delusion. It's a brainwashing mechanism. You get what I'm saying? The whole world is one big, huge Stockholm syndrome. And these people bully you, they imprison you, and they do all these things to manipulate you, but then you feel like they're saving you. Okay? So, a lot of these masculines, they suffer from that. And a lot of you do as well, or you have been. Okay? So you're probably seeing that. Because I feel like a lot of people still think that if a certain president's in office, they're going to get saved. If a certain leader's, going to save them. Okay, something like that. And this is Stockholm syndrome. This is how the upper hand gets control of us. Because it's in the name of love. So wait till the COVID shot comes out. We'll give you $1,500. If you don't take it, you don't love people. This is to save you. It's going to be shit like that. So, read up on Stockholm Syndrome, you guys. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And for some of you that have been in very abusive relationships, that's what you were a victim of with Stockholm Syndrome. This is basically what we're trying to shatter. This is the narc and empath dynamic that's worldwide that we're trying to shatter. Okay, because it is kind of what it is. All right? So what I'm picking up on is for a lot of these masculines right now is they know they're in this delusional state. They know they're in this robotic place. They feel like an idiot. Okay? But they're not doing anything. You know? They're not doing anything. And I feel like some of them, sounds like they question just giving up on themselves in a way. You know? Yeah, and then people that are like, I won't take this vax because there's this, and this in it, when those things have been in our vaccines for years. For many years. That's something I woke up to the past year. I was like, damn, wow. So, yeah, Cassie, that's basically what Stockholm Syndrome is. It can come in less severe or, you know, more hidden and that sort of thing. But basically, we are kidnapped by this system, right? They're trying to kidnap us, and that's what we're escaping. They want us dependent and reliant on us, and for us to think that they love us and that we need them, right? So, yeah, vaccine got a lot of medical procedures. I'm like, nope. No, that was a scam. What was I thinking? That was a setup. A lot of stuff that it is done to us is a form of mark of the beast. A lot of stuff. So, yeah, the nanotechnology, yes. And then there's the want to put that implant in our brain that Elon Musk invented. Was that him that invented that? I can't think of it right now. I don't remember what it is. The Neuralink, something like that. Yep, the Neuralink. But it's funny because if you watch him, he's kind of fascinating, and he actually will say, like, I wouldn't recommend this, but it'll be a cure for your child's, you know, behavioral whatever he was saying. I can't remember what he was saying in the video, but it's supposed to, like, they put basically make everybody go to sleep at the same time, or, you know, like, one size fits all, basically. I don't know. It's so messed up. The Neuralink is so messed up. But you'd be amazed how many people are will get this kind of stuff, you know. And I saw a post today, this one lady goes, I'm just going to be first in line for the COVID vax because I want to go back to normal, but we're not going back to normal. Okay? Because we're now seeing that the old life we had was just slavery. And that's like showing. So, I don't know. Yeah, and Elon Musk, like, if you read up about him, like, look at what he does for schooling for his kids. Okay? He has a secret school, and there's no grades. It's like a free-range type of school where the kids are leading their own learning. And it's art-related, it's individuality-related, okay? These people are not using the school system that they're designing for us. They're not slaving their kids, because they're trying to make their kids into leaders. And leaders are not made under pressure and slavery and fear. Okay? So, like, look up on that stuff. It's really interesting. And it triggers so many people when I tell them that stuff. Because it's true. So, yeah, I homeschool too, and it's not even that hard. Like, my kids are advanced for their age and everything. It's not even that hard, but, oh, people want to get me in trouble for it all the time. It's like, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, and they don't do vaccinations either. If they do, it's not the ones they give us. I'll tell you that right now. Well, if you watch Elon Musk, like, watch his videos, he promotes the dark shit, but he'll drop hints of everything else. So, like, pay attention. It's interesting. And Bill Gates doesn't use the system he designed either. Not at all. So, I mean, you tell people this, like, well, how do you know that? I'm like, it's all there. It's always been there. We're just so blind, you know? We don't look for it. No, I don't dwell on union stuff, you guys, because I don't feel like that saying these shift and these portals and things are going to bring unions together. I think that is all a dictation. But I have been able to tell in some private readings when I do feel that there's a chance. Okay, I do see that, but I don't promise that in my readings at all because I don't want you guys sitting there and waiting and longing and having expectations. So my work is to get you guys away from that sort of thinking and away from worrying about an expectation and result and more into the moment and working on your own individual blocks. So that's where my work comes in, is the ascension and the healing and the growth. Okay, not waiting for somebody else to feel complete. Okay, so I'm not the reader for that because I feel like that I'm like lying to you or giving you a false promise, and I don't like that. So there's no promise that you're going to have a union with a certain individual in this lifetime. And also the 3D body is an illusion. Just remember that energy is energy, and a lot of you're going to have a replacement come in and it's going to be unexpected. Okay, but it all depends on if you are willing to accept that. The fetus cells, it's also in a lot of treatments and doctors for autoimmunities as well. Yeah, I've been getting off my meds for a long time too. I have issues though with sleep, and that's what I'm struggling with. There's replacements coming in, but you know, people are stuck on one certain person and that holds them back sometimes. It really does. There's no promise that everything we're doing today is going to be part of our life next week. You know? So, Cassie, by the time you don't want one, there'll be one coming in unexpected. But then some of these people, they're getting this divine love in that they've been waiting for, and they're realizing they're not ready for it, and they're having trouble accepting it because they still haven't healed their full self. So we're going into a whole brand new lifetime, you guys, with the age of Aquarius. And, you know, people can have their thoughts and predictions on it. But at the end of the day, we don't know. All I know is that my mission here is to help you grow, heal, clear your current karmic cycles, and clear your shadow so you can have a new beginning in it. But by holding on to expectations, you're still letting somebody else hold on a piece of you. Okay? So that can hold you back into the old timeline. So that's where I'm like, people are like, are we going to be together? Does he love me? Is he coming back? I'm like, you know, if things come in and I see it, I'll say it, but I can't promise you to answer those questions. And I'm not going to try to pretend I'm answering them if I don't get it in. Sometimes you're not supposed to know. Sometimes there's a divine block up. Okay, so I'm not a reader that's going to lie to you when I do your readings. I'm a reader that tells the truth, and a lot of you come to me because of that. So I know that so many of you have had readings, how many times promising something that never came. And I never could be that person to do that. So, and I know there's a lot of readers out there that are like, this shift is going to drop unions into place. This shift, and I don't know if I totally believe that stuff or not. Okay, because I still feel like, is that a dictation? You know what I'm saying? Is that still a dictation? Because since I've been doing my work, I've been hearing all these promises with shifts that never happen. So it's a mystery, really. You know how many times since I started doing this work that I've heard about Lion's Portal, the Lion's Gate going to drop all these unions into place or drop all these promises that never happen? You know? So it's really not something I can promise you. But I can promise you this, that if you do get into your divine whole self and free yourself from all this shit and expecting anything, that your dreams can come true. It just may not be how you thought it would be, but it's how it needs to be for you. Okay, and that's where, you know, somebody else's free will has to be let go and accepted. Lion's Portal. Every single year, I know a whole bunch of my collective gets so anxious about Lion's Portal. And then on Instagram, there's all these promises about Lion's Portal, and they never happen. They never do. And then there's things like, well, if you met this certain individual this lifetime, you're promised a union. I don't think so. I don't agree with that. The only thing you're promised is yourself, is the freedom of yourself. You're promised that. It's going to take work, you know? So maybe twin flames at the end of the day, you guys, is the inner union inside of yourself, is getting that masculine and feminine balance back and healed inside of yourself, and this individual crosses your path to trigger that. Maybe you'll end up with them. I don't know. Maybe a new one will come in. Maybe an ex will come back all healed and stuff like that. That's happening as well. Maybe it's a current partner. So a lot of times, you guys, I have honestly picked up, because I do a lot of past life readings as well, is that these individuals cross your path because you have so much karmic debt with this individual from past lives. Because I do past life readings and they're kind of gruesome, some of them, I'll be honest, and sometimes I'm like, oh. That this individual crossed your path in particular to trigger this shadow work. Because you need it. You need to clear it. And then there's the parallel lives and, you know, that sort of thing. And if you've had so many cycles and so many lifetimes with this individual, of course you're going to have a similar blueprint and similar shadow work to be done. So that's kind of what I've seen in a lot of these connections as to what it seems to be. And then you got people, no, that's not what real twin flames are. No, no, no. Well, you know, whatever it is, I feel like at the end of the day, what people are really looking for is a divine counterpart. Okay. And a divine counterpart is two divine people in divine whole self vibrating at the same level and on mission together. Okay. So some people, whoever their twin flame is, they end up being friends with that individual, or they expel that energy and walk away and they find somebody else, you know. But I do feel there is truth to it and there is good behind it. But that's just what I've seen. It triggers that shadow work. So that's the question. What is it? You know, that's the question. But at the end of the day, and my husband says the same thing, it's the energy inside of you balanced. Because he says all the time, maybe your twin flame is you. You know, maybe that's you. So you're retrieving that back. Retrieving that pain back. Two galaxies merging. Well, yeah, essentially there's two of everything merging right now because we have two timelines and everything like that. So that, yeah, there's some truth behind that. Sorry, I see it cuts me out when I start telling more truth, right? When they're interfering with you moving forward, you guys, there's still cords attached. There's still you allowing that energy to interfere. Okay? That's how I see it. So, what is twin flames? It's hard to say, really, because everybody's got their different perception, and everybody says, well, I'm a real one, and they're not, and I'm a real twin flame, and they're not. Whatever. Okay? Until you get the result you're looking for, I mean, just, it's up in the air, really. But right now, you know, I've just kind of, just from observing my collective in the readings I've done, it's major shadow work. It's major shadow work. And the similar blueprints. And I have seen other people have that same perspective. Like, it's an energy that comes by to trigger that awakening and trigger all this stuff and expel that energy so you can be in your divine whole self and move forward to a divine connection. There's a lot of people have said this, and they have moved on to a divine connection. Some people call it like an energetic sibling, where this person's like, you know, a really close friend, a best friend, that sort of thing as well. So it's like, there's all different perspectives. So it's all in what you make out of it, I guess. Is, you know, there you go. That's the better answer. What do you make out of it? Because I feel like you make your own reality at the end of the day and throw the label out, you know? So there's mirrors to everything we cross. That's the thing. Everybody. Because we're programmed, you guys. We're programmed. There's like, it's so fucked up. I don't know. When the new timeline begins, you guys, there's going to be some war type behavior. Sorry, it's just going to be that way. That's what I'm seeing. But the extent it'll go, I don't know. But I do feel there's going to be a massive dismantle of the shadow into February. So I don't feel it's like, oh, we're going to wake up on 12/21 and kaboom or anything like that. I feel like it's going to be kind of a gradual process, but there's going to be some behavior that it's going to be uncomfortable for people, or, you know, a shift in jobs, especially something I picked up on with the Rona shot coming in, and you have to get it to keep your job. And, you know, to what extent it'll go, I don't know, because it may be like you can't shop at Walmart without having it, or proof that you have it, you can't fly, you can't do all these things. And they're going to try to put fear into us to go get it. So it's a matter of rising and fighting against this, because we don't have to. And I'm going to be real, I feel like a lot of people are going to pass away. And I don't know if it'll be now or just like gradually. I keep picking up a 10-year block, a 10-year block of something. I don't know, like people are going to pass away or something's going to happen. It's weird. And it gives me goosebumps. I don't even like to talk about that, but something major. Yeah, people are preparing, and there's people of all ages. I have a few awakened individuals that are of all ages, senior citizen age that I talk to, everything. So, but I know that if you work in the medical, you're going to be one of the first targeted to get it. Guaranteed. Nursing homes, like residents in nursing homes, children in schools. I pick that up strongly. That's why I'm like, no, protecting my kids. Even if you do distance learning, watch all contracts that come in. Read everything. Read everything. Because the school's shady as fuck. Okay, it's shady as fuck. And I know that pisses people off, but it is. It just is. It's the main training ground to get these kids ready to be slaves, you guys, is that school. And even in the small town schools, it all is the trickle down. Yes, like our cat got run over. You know, yeah. A lot of deaths. I don't even like saying that. I feel like the biggest dick saying that stuff. Yeah, protect your babies. No, nothing in this world is worth the mark of the beast. It's not. So, the school is shady. School is shady, medical shady, all of it. Oh, the schools are awful. What made me realize it is when like graduates were still lacking in knowledge. I'm like, what? You graduate high school and you don't know any of that? I was like, what is going on? That's when I started looking into it. And I think that was in 2016 or so. Oh, of course it erased your comment. No, I still see it. School is shady as fuck. I see it. It is. Well, think about it. It's kind of the training grounds for our kids. It was our training because it really got hard. The manipulation in schools got excessively heavier in the 80s, I believe I read, which makes sense. Which would be us, a lot of us. So, well, I don't think my husband really did a piece of homework. No, he didn't. He refused to do homework. He didn't do anything. He just wrote it out. He hated school. He skipped all the time. He wasn't going. Nope. Nope. Spanking the paddle, yeah. And like my husband's like one of the most wise people I've ever met. So that's kind of proof right there that Your wisdom's inside of you already. He didn't even try. He didn't give a shit at all. He hated it. Said it was stupid. He's been saying he's one of those little kids that saw the programming shit like really young. Like he knew that this world's programming. Yeah, he said that. Yeah, I used to. Okay, so the TVs. Okay, I used to always feel weird about TVs, like that they watch you and stuff. Since I was a kid, I would get this like really weird paranoia about TVs. I don't know why. And one day, well, now I know why, because they do. They probably do. I don't know. They send out messages. TVs, they call TVs programming. That's not a conspiracy either. People are like conspiracy theorists, and like, but they call it programming. And I remember the TV was off and I still heard like this whisper in the TV, and I used to get really freaked out and run outside. And then there's been knowledge put out that they do keep sending out subliminal messages in your TV. I was like, oh my God. That is so crazy. Like, I don't know. Oh, I know this smart TV. Time is an illusion. Yep. Yeah, seeing both sides to things are important. TVs, radios, every freaking thing is programming us. It's such nonsense. That's the kind of shit you don't dare talk about for how many years of your life because you're, a conspiracy theorist. And now it's like, I'm just going to talk about it because this is more obvious to people now. You know? And then I was like in school, like, why do we have to learn all this garbage that it doesn't mean anything? Or it just felt weird. I don't know. I miss my kitty. How did I become such a good person? I don't know. I'm not always a good person. Yeah, I don't know. I just like do whatever. Yeah, they watch us through our phones, let's be honest. I don't think that the TV thing is a conspiracy at all. Come on. And if more people aren't seeing all this, like, I don't know what to tell them because it's pretty obvious anymore, like, the big picture. I know, and the cell phone puts devices on you, program devices. Yep, there's AI very badly in the smartphones. I'm like, you ever notice you get, like, addicted and you just scroll through Facebook and shit, and you're like, what am I looking at? It's mindless, right? No, we don't watch much either. No, my kids watch some shows here and there, but that's it. Netflix, it all depends on the show you're watching, I guess. We notice in little kid shows, there's a lot of promoting like defiant behavior or like acting like a victim or a baby sometimes. And my kids will pick up on this like baby talk once in a while. Some of these shows are like, no, you're not watching that one anymore. Yeah, our phones learn us. I don't know if it's Peppa Pig, but there was this one show called, I don't know. I think the kid's name on it is Ryan. Is it called Ryan, maybe? I don't know. There's a lot of, in passive things in kids' shows that, well, they got parents so busy and fixated on working and all that kind of shit that we're not paying attention. So, I don't allow a lot of TV. My kids play a lot. They're very much into play. And I don't do tablets either. I've always been one that's like, no, we're not doing tablets, because if they get a hold of one of our phones or computer or something, it's hours and hours and hours of it. So, yep, the entitlement, because they want your kids to be entitled, and they want us to serve our kids, and they want our kids to be victims. It's true. Yeah, the Ryan show. It's just kind of weird, because you see the same type of people, and it's like the same in every family almost. I don't know how to explain it. Oh yeah, people get so upset and triggered. People get so triggered by the truth. They get really mad. I understand sometimes you gotta absorb it for a while, because sometimes I even get like, oh my God, but people get pissed. Like the vaccine thing. They're like, oh my God, there's all this shit in the vaccine. Like, yeah, but all that shit you just told me about, that's been in the other ones too that you were all for. Silence. No more talk on that. It's like, okay. Yeah, raised by the TV, tablets, phones. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. I notice more and more when I go out in the public and stuff, it's like people are like robots, and it's just creepy. They got us huge consumers of materialistic world. It's a form of slavery. Compensating wounds with stuff and items, and your values defined by what you own and what you have, and it's all wrong, really, if you think about it. We're trying to learn how to be humble again, to get back to the basics. Slow the hell down. Because it's like, go, 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 and you need this, you need this, you need this, and it's come to find out we don't really need this, right? And then we're wasteful. So wasteful. See, I get addicted to clothes shopping sometimes. Yeah, the itchiness, I've been having that too, and I think it's from the soul healing, and like basically we're getting a whole new light body almost in. So yeah, I've been having itchy too. Yep, we were all controlled. It sucks. Yeah, people are comforted by the illusion, and then sometimes, like, I know a lot of the masculines do this. It's like, oh, I realize that this sort of programming is dark, so I'm just going to switch over to another one. You know what I'm saying? So they go grab another one, but you're still being dictated. It's kind of like that with religion, you know? My philosophy on vaccines, you guys, I feel like, first off, they're done pretty much at birth to stop ascension, to do everything they can to stop awakening or stop, children from being awake. And I feel like they inject all these metals so they get into the body and can control, like a robot almost, or like, I don't know how to explain that. But then it also induces illnesses in children. It triggers illnesses. It triggers all these things. It makes us sick. It makes us easier to control. And then they do these rounds of it, and they do it at certain timings, so it stops ascension and it stops growth, and it closes the chakra system. So, and it does get metal around the brain and stuff like that. It causes a lot of illnesses. That's how I see it. And if they clean vaccinations up, it'd be another story. But what was it I was reading? 74 of them in a child's life? Really? Because when I was born, there was like 8. So, and then they're putting aborted fetuses in it, and then there's all that shit in them. And that is changing our DNA too, along with all the other shit. Okay? And now, birthing's been made into a factory, like I was saying the other day. Everybody's getting induced now because of Rona. Everybody. My induction date. My induction date. Well, they want us reliant on the system. You have to be induced. You have to be induced. You need a C-section. These things. It's all a ploy to get reliance on the system. All of it. So like, oh, well, due to Rona, we're going to induce you. We're going to have this. It's for factory reasons. It's for money. But it's not only that. It's to get you reliant. Because the more people do this stuff, it changes our DNA and our genetics and everything like that. So people have more reliance. Because you hardly ever hear about anybody going into natural labor anymore. Hardly ever. So that's kind of how I see things right now. It's like, because I'm in a couple pregnancy groups on Facebook, and it's like, oh, my induction date, my induction date. Well, why do you all, what? Everybody's induced now? Because when I was a kid, like, people would, like, rush to the hospital and labor and stuff, and, like, nobody's doing that anymore. And I've been induced, and it was hell. Yeah. And then even if you go into natural labor, like, oh, we'll give you Pitocin because, we got to rush it or you'll get an infection. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. I'm sure you can. I'm not saying you can, but it's just to make things a factory. More money, more reliance. I've even heard people say that they got told that they can't go into labor on their own, that they have to be induced. That's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, because as babies, like, it's every 2 to 4 months or whatever, and the goal is to close the crown and close all the third eye and everything by, like, I think it was 8 to 12 months or something like that. I'm looking into a midwife right now. So I've been talking to some. But even then, I'm leery about all of it. I mean, I gotta feel them out. I gotta talk to them. I'm leery about all of it. So, induction was horrible. Never again will I be induced. That was so horrific. It was hard on my body too, and it was hard on the baby. It was, ugh. I don't know how soon you are. I don't even really care about prenatal care that much anymore, or I don't really, like, feel it's urgent anymore because it's my 4th child and I know what I'm doing. I'm still going to a doctor right now. So it's a sound machine. I forgot to shut it off. Wait, you do home births, you don't get painkillers, but that's fine. I pretty much did natural as my last, and it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't bad at all. Like, there's ways to give birth in positions and stuff like that ease the pain quite a bit. And laying on your back isn't exactly the normal position. So, yeah, they say that about ultrasound. I've had a couple. I have energy clearing done afterwards. Yep, squatting. My 3rd child was so easy to give birth to that I just refused everything. I refused to be strapped to a bed. I refused Pitocin. They were going to give me Pitocin. I said, why? No. And I said no, and I stuck up for myself more, and it was 3 hours and done. It was really easy. Yeah. Well, think about it. People in Africa they just squat and birth in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it a disability? It shouldn't be. Don't get me wrong, I still have nervousness about it, but oh yeah, it's all lies. You have to be induced. You have the placenta will go bad. You have to be this. You have to have the C-section. The head is too big. And we're not even going to try natural, but you have to have this. It's like, whatever. I'm done with this shit. My last one came at like 37 weeks on her own anyway, but she was still like 7 pounds, 4 ounces. Well, they let me take home my placenta. They didn't argue about that. They said, well, it's yours, so here you go. They gave it to me. So I took it home. I didn't have to beg at all. They gave it to me. Yeah, there is something about conceiving children and the bloodlines as well, and the vibrations and the karma that you're carrying when you conceive the child. There's truth to that too. It's weird. It's all weird. It's some stuff I've been figuring out. We buried the placenta for good. I think it was for protection and good luck. We buried it. It was actually really cool to look at, like all the like vein stuff in there. No, they didn't. They just gave me my placenta. Like they're like, well, it's yours, so here you go. And the cord was and everything. It was weird. Yeah, I just took it home. So they're like, it's your property. Technically, it is, you know. And that's another thing. How come when you give birth, like if you shouldn't have to stay in a hospital. I mean, you should be able to go if you want to go. Yeah, it was refrigerated. It was in a plastic container. So, oh yeah, they take those placentas and use them for science. There was somebody who's a nurse who leaked a little of that to me a long time ago, years ago. So, and they take foreskin and use it in creams and shit like that. It's so gross. I did the delayed cord clamping with my last one. I didn't consume the placenta. I don't know. I just didn't want. I guess I don't think that much of it. Ugh. Circumcision is not necessary. It is not. I don't care what anybody tells me. People get so freaking mad about that, but no, I will not do that to my child. No. Yeah, to store your placenta. Yep, it takes away pleasure. It takes away a lot. A lot. That's another thing I studied up on as well. Because years ago I thought that was normal too, you know. How do I explain this? So when they circumcise a child, basically, I'll just say it. Okay, the foreskin's fused together. It doesn't. It isn't supposed to retract in an infant. It's fused together, so you clean it like a finger, like just wipe like that, right? Okay, I know this sounds weird, but people think you retract it, but you don't. It's actually fused, and during the procedure, they like rip it apart. Okay, it is a ritual, yes. They rip it apart and they pull it and they cut it off. It's very traumatic. And they say that the babies, like, they spiritually detach from their body during the procedure and they pass out a lot of times. Ugh, I can't even stand it because I've watched videos and I was like, okay, so that foreskin protects. Okay, so they have a membrane and they have their own lubrication and they have more sensitivity. So when that's gone, as a man gets older, they get almost like a thicker skin around the outside, and it takes away a bunch of that pleasure. That is why America has such a high Viagra rate, okay, or issues with erectile dysfunction. America's like the highest in the world. You can find all this information online as well. And that is one thing. I've gotten so much hostility about circumcision, but it's just true. So the information's online. Look it up. And there's a video on YouTube called The Elephant in the Room that explains a lot of that too. And people take offense to it, and it's like, did I pinpoint you and say something to you directly? Like, I'm not targeting you. I'm just saying the truth. You know? So, yeah, it wasn't that long ago I had somebody, because I posted an anti-circumcision article, and somebody got really defiant with me and pissed off and took offense and said it was gross and all this shit, and it's not. You're born with it. Like, I don't know. I think it's supposed to probably be there. America's fat because of the food we eat and because of all the other procedures and the lazy, and like, not the laziness. Well, some of it's that, but it's a combination of things. You know, it's funny because America's doing less and less circumcising now, because insurance is refusing to pay for it as part of it, because there is movements against it. So, and there's more education about it. Oh, I've heard stories about the Jewish getting it, and some Islamic as well. Yeah, and it's expensive. It's like, when I had my first child, I think the price of it at that time, as she's not a boy obviously, but it was like $1,300. So I know a lot of parents that have guilt about it, and they're like, I didn't know, because they didn't know. And when we were born, it was like just standard over here. Everybody just did it. There was no education. It was basically like, oh, you just do this, you know. Yeah, I've heard stories about that. And the female circumcision practices as well. There's actually a lot of intact boys nowadays. Quite a few of them. Yes, they do pass out. Actually, there is quite a bit of intact men in porn. This has been a discussion that I've had with people that I know. So it's just, you can't tell the difference, you guys, when they're erect. You really can't. You're not gonna know the difference. Okay, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Yeah, I know, it's amazing what people can afford when they want some Mark of the Beast done, or some of these, like your phone. Everybody always affords their phone bill, but other things are secondary. Well, I'm sure you saw stuff in the NICU as well. I've heard stories about NICUs. Oh, it all just creeps me out. All of them, everything right now. I'm just like, I don't trust anything. Like, and it's to the point now where when I do go to the doctor, I get drained, or I just feel uncomfortable now because I'm just like so. I've been really awake and aware for many years and observant at the doctor because I've caught a lot of shit. I've caught a lot of shady shit too, and it's not just oopsie or I'm just a human. It's manipulation, it's brainwashing. I've caught it. So I know what's going on. Well, the intact men that I personally know, they didn't get made fun of, so I really doubt they're looking at each other's dicks in the locker room. I didn't look at other women's crotches personally, but whatever. You know, like, I don't either, and I will not take a Rona test. I refuse. I am not circumcising my boy. Nope, never. Never, never. Nope. He's gonna remain just as he's born. Yeah, I just got, I don't know, my intuition just tells me shit. Like circumcision, I had this intuitive nudge about it years ago for some reason. I looked it up. I'm like, oh my God. I don't know why. I just get these nudges about stuff. And then people are like mad at me because I looked it up and found out the truth. And I'm like, dude, like look it up. It's right there though. I know, like, we're not one size fits all. Like, I don't know. I know it's a touchy topic for so many people, but and I know that a lot of men that had no say, and yeah, I don't know. There's people that'll argue it and argue it and argue it, and I always have truth for every single argument they have about it. And then they get more pissed at me. And then you always hear the stories about the old man in the nursing home story and all that. And it's like, okay. And I know old men that died without being circumcised too. So it's probably because the mom was Korean. I know I have a lot of friends in England, and they kind of make fun of us over here for doing it. Most of the world doesn't even do it. So that's another thing. Healthcare is beyond like, it's all creepy. I'm so glad I got booted out of nursing school. I didn't get booted out. I just got so sick I couldn't go anymore, so I dropped out. But it was for a reason. I wasn't meant for that. Another thing that got mentioned to me by a friend of mine who is a nurse right now, she said that when she went to school, they were really pushing for nurses for 2020. Now, isn't that a little bit weird? Yeah, I'm not meant to be a nurse or medical staff. Uh-uh. Reptilians, You know, I think there's going to be different names for it all the time. Because some people say, well, anybody who's narcissistic is a reptilian, but there's narcissism that runs down all generations. So, despite the name, there are people here, and I know this, because they get put in your families and all that kind of shit, just to meddle and be dark, okay? There's people here that are literally like actors. And I'm not even joking about it. It's so messed up. But there's people here with specifically like dark contracts just to meddle. And some of these individuals are starting to starve out. And yes, it can be in your families. And this was done intentionally through many lifetimes. So the light wouldn't get together and fight each other, basically, is what I've been picking up on. To hide us out. Okay, because this whole Earth experience is like a big game, okay? Oh yeah, it's a planned event. Of course it was. And like then people are like, "Oh, you're just selfish. You don't care about you know." And it's like, dude, it was planned. It was in books how long ago? It's in our music. It's on TV. Like this whole thing. It was shown to us. That's not a conspiracy either. Go look that up. Did you watch The Simpsons when you were a kid? You know? So anyways, these individuals, that they have dark contracts, and some of them, it could be a family member, could be people that you work with, whatever. And they're strictly here to, well, test you. So there's some of your biggest karmic contracts and tests. But they're also here to hold you back. Okay? And that's where the installment of love is taught by the mind comes in, and feeling like you have to be loyal to blood and that sort of thing comes in as well, because it's like, oh, well, I have to be loyal to these individuals because they're my family, or they're this or that or whatever in your life, when these people are treating you like absolute shit and trying to hold you back. I hope that makes sense. So it's like the bloodlines got really fucked up, if that makes sense, okay? Because there is truth to the bloodlines. Yeah, they're trying to destroy the human race. And they were trying to destroy some of the ones that are born with a lot of wisdom. And then there's the negative blood type too, and there's something to that as well. There is truth to the bloodlines. There's like spiritual royal bloodlines and stuff like that. We've like been putting a lot of this together, just it's been opening up to us the last couple of years, and we've been figuring it out, that there's these bloodlines, and then there's these dark ones in meddling in that, and there's people that are supposed to be of a spiritual or royal bloodline that are supposed to be together, but they end up with darker individuals, or I don't know how to explain it, but it just messes up the total bloodlines altogether, because the actual royal family isn't the initial royal family. They hijacked it. They stole it. Okay? So basically, a lot of the people with a divine purpose here, a mission, they got their mission stolen. So it's like we're trying to get that back now. Trying to get that divine place back. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's been distorted and tampered with, the bloodlines. Your teenagers to be left behind? I don't know. I don't know on that. I think teenagers and children have their own inner work to do as well, just like the rest of us. All of us do. But I know that kids can drain you. I know they can. And they come with karma too. Sadly, you guys, the thing with kids, and I was just discussing this with my husband today as well, the kids have a lot of knowledge. And they want out. They don't want to be in the system. And they're speaking at a very young age, and listen to them. Listen to them. Okay? if they're being defiant at school, or they're acting out at school, or they're not engaging it, it's for a reason. They don't want to be a slave. Okay? They're more awake than we give them credit for. Because my 5-year-old, she speaks about shit that it's like, where did you get this? Okay? Because she's like, Mom, like, everybody's so mad. Everybody's so angry and hates each other, and the earth's gonna go from red and anger to green, and it's gonna be beautiful. She tells this stuff. It's like, where did you get this? And then she told me that people have got to change, Mom. Like the leaves change in the fall on the trees. People have to change like that. Like, she says this stuff. So, you know, like, your child, a lot of these children, I'm sure there's children that are of darker contracts, like a lot of other people and generations. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. But a lot of these children hold some wisdom. They really do. And then they say redheads steal your soul, right? That's another cover up too, because my kids are all redheads and wise as hell. And there's kids that, like, there's teenagers being defiant, and people are like, my kid's acting up. And I'm like, no, your kid doesn't want to be in the system. Your kid's crying out to be themselves. Your kid wants to be free. Natasha, your redhead's trying to speak. I got 2 redheads. Well, one's more, Nora's getting more blondish now. And then my youngest, she's like kind of all the colors, I guess. I don't know. So, the angel of union, I don't even really believe in all these shifts on 3D union shit. So, too many false promises. Could be. You know, it's hard to say that our kids come with karma too, but they kind of do. I think so. I had karma with my oldest, I know that. And then we got to clear our ancestral patterns through them, so. Yeah, there's a lot of pain and karma coming back up to be cleared because we just like sweep things under a rug, you know. And death is a big one because I feel like the death has been made into a bad thing in so many ways, you know what I'm saying? And we don't accept death fully, or we're scared of death, or we keep holding on and keep living through the eyes of that individual, that sort of thing. So learning to let go of death and grieve death and truly embrace it differently is something we're learning as well, because I had some grief with my grandma come back up, and my grandma's with me like quite a bit, you know, in an energetic way, but it kind of came and surfaced back up. So because I do feel that we can imprison like the dead people's souls too, just as much as anybody else. Like get cords on them too, you know what I'm saying? So hi there. So I've learned to see death a lot differently through my work and everything like that. And that's where like accepting that a lot of people are dying right now, because I feel like there's more deaths than we even know about. Because I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of deaths since the pandemic, and none of them are even COVID related. But a lot of deaths. And I feel like it's like out with some of the old and in with the new. So it's like part of the process that's going on right now. And it's been a lot of really odd deaths. Like car accidents, overdoses, suicides, falling on the head, and brain bleeds. There was like 2 of those. So and my husband's stepfather passed away randomly. He was in a nursing home and he was older and unhealthy. But yeah, there's just like a lot of different a lot of different deaths that happen. And then our cat, you know? So I think there's a lot more. And I do feel that there's a lot of starvation and some poverty type deaths going on in other countries right now. That is right, Eloise, it is. But we're trying to take that hell and make it into heaven, essentially. Because we don't repent in between lifetimes. We never repent, face the karmic cycles, and that's what we're doing right now. We're facing all that karma. We just keep on coming back, coming back, coming back, and then it just gets worse and worse. It's all a setup. Economical slavery. So that's like what we're discovering, like, why are we here, you know? Why are we here? And life shouldn't be painful and just work and, you know. A McDonald's drive-thru car accident? I don't know. Yeah, that's correct. Earth is how we perceive it as well. It really is. But then you don't want to be in la la land either and like, oh, if I just like, you know, not see it and live love and light, then it's not there. But that's not the case either. So it's all about the balancing act and digging up shit. And we're also, you know, working on clearing out karma from a lot of past generations. Like Australia is one country that has a lot of karma from past generations of prison. There's a lot of that. Because Australia was used as that. As like a prison, basically. If you guys probably know that. Yeah, there's new souls coming in. The child I'm pregnant with is a new one. Yeah, prison island. There's actually like what I picked up with Australia. There's like literally contracts for so many generations or something like that. I don't know. It is training grounds. Earth is training ground. It's your training ground for your karma. It's a training ground for your growth and stuff like that. There's other galaxies out there. There's a lot of other galaxies. And I do believe there's like other Earths with different timelines and different like, you know, like more back and more forward and in time and that sort of thing. Australia, I think with the lockdown and how long they're locked down that they feel like they're free right now, and I feel like that's kind of like Stockholm syndrome as well because you're not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, because I see Australians all the time and I know a lot of people that are in my group and stuff like that. They know better, but there's a lot of them. They're like, oh, we're free, we did it right over here, but it's like, no, there's some manipulation going on. So So yeah, when you've been locked down for 100 and some days, yeah, it's gonna feel like freedom, but you still have all these rules and stipulations and regulations to follow. And even where I'm at right now, like things are just you gotta wear a mask everywhere you go. There's plexiglass cubicles around, you know, service desk at Target. It's creepy and it's weird. And this is our new way of living now, and people think this is temporary. It's not. It's an attempt to pull us back into control. I know. And if people don't wake up to this deep state, it's literally the shock of it is gonna literally wipe some people out. I'm not even joking about that. It's gonna be like horrific. I can't even explain what I've seen with it. I've seen people literally like fall over from it. So, yep, we bounce through. I bounce back and forth between the timelines all the time. I have to have like a reality check, like, oh, wait a minute, you're being swayed. Stop, you know. Yeah, that's all the time. That's kind of normal, especially when you're not in your full confidence yet, or you still have some stuff to work on, which I realized today I do. Some insecurities and stuff. And I think it's around my pregnancy and the medical and my nervousness around that mostly. So, and the minute that you show those insecurities or somebody can feed on that, boom, they come at you quick. So, so you can go back and forth between the timelines multiple times a day. And before we just had two, now, you know, there was like seven, I think, something like that. Like there was multiple, and then it was slowly like they would collapse. I would watch them collapse. I would see it. And then less and less and less. And then we've been jumping ahead in time, mind you. We're jumping ahead. Yeah, I struggle to be around people in the other timeline right now because it's draining. It's so draining. And I can't even conversate with them. I get bored. It's so boring. You know, like I don't know what to say anymore. And I think some people are just drawn away from me right now that are still in that timeline. People that maybe thought they were awakened and still had some shocking things to think about. Or I feel like some people realize that by holding on to certain things that they missed out on a lot, you know? So they're kind of grieving of that as well. Because there's the deep state in everything. There's manipulation in every single thing that we are dealing with right now. So, California. Oh my God, I don't even know how to discuss California. It's a fucking mess. It's a mess. So, I mean, I'm not joking. I got a visual of people literally figuring out some of this deep state and dying from it. It was insane what I saw. They just went and fell over. That's the visual I got. It was so fucked up. I was like, what did I just see? And then I'm like, wait a minute, that's like the shock. So it's just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, the internet can be like horrible, but at the same time, it's brought soul families together. So I very much appreciate that. You know, and I have people that are around me, and if Natasha's still watching, she knows what I'm talking about, that intentionally be defiant about the dark timeline just to prove a fucking point to me, right? Just to prove a point to me. And I don't even know if they actually believe that. But I think they do it just to prove I'm wrong. They're gonna prove I'm wrong, and they're just holding on to that. It's like, you know what, honey, you're in for a huge surprise when you fall over, okay? Because you're not proving shit to me, and they've done it all my life. Always defiant against me, and a lot of it's jealousy, to be honest. A lot of the reactions from people right now, guys, is jealousy on you. So it's stupid, it's bullshit, and it's their tests and then you get your doppelganger from the dark timeline that copies everything you do, but they're better. Okay, there's always gonna be that shit. I got a few of them too. So it's just unreal. And at first when I was younger, it was like, oh, I just figured that they were, you know, making me, you know, or I was just a bad person basically. I was just a shitty person. But now I realize it's just full-blown jealousy. So oh, whatever. I don't even care anymore. I trust my wisdom, and I've told people, don't you say that shit to me anymore, because I know that what I'm saying is right. So, because they'll like defend the dark system, and I'm like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but you're in denial. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And my work, yeah, your work's embarrassing. Go get a real job. You know, it's just like whatever, whatever. I just ask that these people get taken out of my life, and they have been. So people have been pretty quiet with me. Oh yeah, the older generation. I have a lot of older followers that are not like that, so that does not pertain to you. But there is so much of the older generation that's like, well, I'm older and I'm wiser, and if that's your belief, that's wonderful. But da 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 da. It's like, you know what? Fuck you. You know, it gets so sickening. It's like, okay, like I don't know. I get sick of it. Wisdom is not defined by an age. And those people that think they weren't part of the programming, I love that too, because we all were. No, that wasn't my case. No, not all of us. No. When I was young, no. Or, you know, not my family. Yeah, you were. Did you live off grid? Did you break away from this shit? No. You went to public school just like everyone else. You know? Yeah, I feel very blessed that I fell into my purpose. It just kind of fell into place. I never planned it. Oh yeah, the ego. I wonder if some of these older generation, like the ego death in them is gonna be the end. I don't know. The ego death is gonna be the worst with some of them. Oh, I know. I can't even be around them. Like, I just want to hide in my house and like you guys can have your way because I don't want to go shopping or anything. Like, just have fun. I'll just hide out in my little cave. But I feel like that with the whole system thing, there's going to be more rules and more regulations. It's going to make it more blatantly obvious that it's ridiculous. Because some of it is ridiculous. It's like, okay, these rules, there's somebody laughing at these. Okay, or thinking it's funny to use children as a pawn with these rules or use you guys at your jobs, you know. I don't know. It's bullshit. There's somebody that thinks it's funny. You know there is. And it's horrible. There's not love for humanity. It just kind of sucks to watch sometimes. Yeah, and we all have to admit that. The new babies coming in, I don't even know how to explain that. I think my husband manifests this one. I'm pretty sure of it. I'm pretty sure of it. Because he, like, I don't know. It wasn't like planned. It wasn't really planned. I don't know. Freya was, she forced her way into this world somehow, but he's been saying for years, I want 4 kids. I want 4 kids. And I was like, you're not getting 4 kids. Well, I don't know. Here we are. My last one was a birth control fail, so, and I don't even want to be on birth control anyways because it messes with me so bad. Yeah, they do think we are stupid, and now the wise ones that actually have more power than the elites. That's why their little minions attack us and bully us. They're training people to be their minions. I'm not kidding. I swear to God, it's like they have an antenna on their fucking heads and they get signals sent and they attack us the same days and everything. It's so weird. Television. What about media? Media. It's all about me. You know what was another one I saw the other day? I can't remember what it was now. It was some other joke about something else. There are a lot of people that play stupid about knowing because they just don't want to admit it and they don't want to face the truth, and they're also scared of what everyone will think of them. You gotta look cool. Okay, they gotta look cool. I think that is right, Denise. It is something like that. Yeah. Media, me idea. Yeah, it's something like that. But there's some people, it's like, and I even say to some of them, I know you see this. You're just scared of what your neighbors will think, or your family will think, or your friends will think. That's all it is. I say that to people all the time. Yeah, they're waking up. But I've seen people like try to defy it, and it's like, no, I know you see this, okay? And you know that some of these people, they read up on this shit and everything else when nobody's looking, or they believe in aliens or whatever, or I don't know. They look up on this shit when nobody's looking, and they know, but they gotta look cool and put on their facade. Masculine. Because it's a lot of men, you guys, that do that shit. And I know they do. Okay? Of all ages. Of all directions. Okay? You're not fooling me if any of you are watching. Come on. Oh, they do. I talk to some of them, you guys. There's some men out there that they'll say shit. I think some of this is a setup, or... I think this or this or this, and then but they'll go right back to, well, no, it's not. It's like, I don't believe in the angel of union, okay? Sorry. We don't know what's going to happen here, okay? So, yeah, there's a lot of people that play stupid, but... And these type of people, you guys, they'll hold on for dear life, like... No, Denise, I agree, because they do that shit. That's what I'm saying. I have people that have been in my life that purposely are defiant against my work just to fucking bring me down. Because I know that they have to see this. They have to see this shit, and they're sitting there like, no, I do this, that because of whatever. No, da da da. It's like, you're just doing it to be a bitch now, okay? Okay, whatever, Monty. The angel of union is here then. You can believe what your reality is your reality. I think aliens are definitely real. No, don't let the old timeline bring you down. It's all a setup. As far as, the angel of union here, everybody says Jesus is coming in the spaceship and going to show up too, and there's all these things, just go with the flow. Just go with the flow, because everybody's got an idea of what's coming. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I saw these posts on Facebook the other day about an alien spaceship coming to save a bunch of people to take them to another galaxy. I was like, okay. Oh yeah, there's aliens here. What about the Rh negative blood? It's probably crossbreed alien or something. Don't you think we're all kind of hybrid or something like that? It's probably true. But there's some people that have been awakened for many years, okay? Like way before now. They're just starting to actually speak about it. Well, that's what I'm wondering. When is this ship going to show up? Because I'm sick of this shit. Is there like a Costco in another galaxy that won't like bully? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's just like everybody, or not everybody, but some people have their own different name for their god. You know what I'm saying? So I think Jesus is a consciousness amongst people, and I think the rebirth of Jesus is the rebirth of humankind. That's what I think it is. So it doesn't matter if I say Christ consciousness a lot because people are going to understand that more, but I don't really go by Christianity. So, and everybody thinks they're a chosen one of some sort and stuff like that. I don't know anymore, you know? We're not the only life in the universe. I've seen aliens. I swear to God, I've seen them. Like in sleep paralysis one time, I swear I saw one. It was like years ago, but he's due on Easter, you guys. Well, yeah, and I've seen people argue about that that's just an ego thing to say a consciousness, but it's the only thing that really makes sense to me at this point. I've always said that, like, since I was a kid, I remember saying the Bible's man-made. It's man-made. There's fabrication. I used to say that as a kid. We were like, oh, da da da. It's like, I'm pretty sure of that, you know? I'm sure Jesus existed and stuff. We're not saying he didn't. He was human, you know, whatever. But I think there was a lot of, like, dictation around it and stuff. Yes, we were just talking about this the other day in one of my videos, satanic rituals in church, because I had people that were like Christian tell me that I was doing devil's work. Well, they sit in church and do satanic rituals all the time, you know? So it's just like hypocritical, really. I purposely failed religion in school. What about the front row Christians that are just rotten people? I know quite a few of them. Yeah, religion is ran by Masonic. The yeah, the Masonic lodges. There's Masonic lodges all over the place. It's all like I don't know. It just seems to be coming together. I mean, I remember thinking religion was something man-made and like something behind it as a child. You know, this is all in front of us. That's the thing. Like it's like the Masonic lodges. They're all over the place. There's a whole bunch in Rochester, you know, which isn't far from where I live. And there's hidden ones in small businesses and small communities. I mean, it's unreal. It's all over the place. The Masonic lodges, and it's like You know, we've probably driven by them for years and not paid attention to them, you know. And there's even, it says right on the outside. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch in the cities. Just type Masonic lodges near me on Google and they show up. They're right there. I think we're just programmed not to see them or not to think anything of it. Nothing is hidden from us, that's the thing. Even if you look up on these so-called conspiracy theorists, that people like to call it, it's right there. It's all right there. And then, you know, like there's been a lot of spell work and rituals done, and to prevent the karma, you guys, they tell us. Okay? So they tell us through subliminal messages and movies and stuff like that. It's ways to tell us of shit going on to prevent the karma. Because it's like, well, we told you. You know, it was right out in the open. The information was available. I've flown there. I've flown into the Denver airport, but I didn't look around. Looks like I'm getting a bunch of trolls in here now. That's cute. I think there's like tunnels in cities under airports and stuff. I don't know. I had a dream about it. Well, yeah, it's to prevent the karma. That's what some of it is. I mean, The Simpsons had episodes like with this whole year. And I tell people that and they're like, oh, isn't that funny? I'm like, yeah, but it was like all right there. I don't know. It just amazes me, like the denial. I don't know anymore. And listen to like her songs. What was one I was listening to? The Sign of Times. Is that the name of the song by Harry Styles? That one like speaks volume of this year. Volume. Oh yeah, Vatican City. And what was another one? Mayo Clinic. I get a lot of information or nudges about Mayo Clinic being very, very dark. I have for a long time. And I know a lot of medical is, but Mayo Clinic in particular. And then I looked up on it, and the Mayo brothers were Freemason. They belong to Masonic lodges. So, as some people say that some of the Freemason is good, this possible, I don't feel it's a large chunk, because they'll act really loving out in the community. Okay, so they hide quite well. And I got visuals of Mayo Clinic having dark tunnels underneath it, ones that we don't see, with really odd stuff going on. So that was another big one. And then one day I kept getting visuals of these dark tunnels and some stuff getting like busted underneath them or something. I don't know, it was weird. So I feel like Mayo Clinic may dismantle quite a bit. Oh, they've had time. They wrote a book about time travel. There was a book written in 1890, I believe, about Trump and time travel. It was really weird. No, what I saw was a visual of some like tunnels under Mayo Clinic, and it was like people were getting busted doing shit in these tunnels under Mayo Clinic. I don't even know what the hell I saw, but it was like I was in another dimension or time frame, or I don't know what I was in. I just saw it all. I was sitting up in my bedroom, and I saw all this stuff, and I can't remember when it was, like 2 weeks ago. But I've had really weird feelings about Mayo Clinic for years. With like rotten shit. So that's what, yeah, Natasha, that's what I mean. Like, organ cultivating or something. I don't know. I don't know. But the Mayo Clinic is a huge, huge medical operation, anyways. Do I get scared? Not anymore. I'm kind of used to it now. But I have, yes, I have. I think, I think I time travel sometimes, to be honest, like in my sleep and stuff. I don't know. It's all, some of it, yeah, I have gotten creeped out by some of the visuals I get. Especially when I would talk about them, you're called nuts and crazy and demonic entities and stuff, and then come to find out it all, like, it happened. The fetuses, you know what, you guys, a lot of the aborted fetuses, yeah, it comes from the medical, but it also comes from Planned Parenthood. Okay? um, yeah. And then everybody's so fixated on the underground stuff that they don't realize that we're being trafficked every day. Think about it. We're slaves every day. They're so worried about the underground operations. It's like, what about you? And then everyone's like, oh, I don't want to get my DNA, but they get your DNA at birth. So, yeah. Basically, when we're born, we're labeled as property. It's like a lot to accept and chew, but yeah. I know, Natasha. That's why when I didn't have that DNC, I think it was like a mixed blessing when I lost that first child of mine. So they didn't get the tissue from it. I feel like that was like a protection of some sort too at the end of the day. Because, yeah, it sucks not knowing. Like, when you get an organ removed, what are they doing with it, you know? Yeah, remote viewing. My husband's really good at remote viewing. He's a good astral. He astral travels really well. Yeah, I know. It's all just kind of creepy. Like, are they really getting rid of the stuff, or are they taking it to get the DNA? I don't know. It's just, maybe we don't want to know. Yep. We're stamped as slaves and property at birth, and then your social security number is like your cow tag. So cute. Unblock that person. Yeah, there's been a lot of documentation. They invest this in the stock market. I think, yeah, I think I did see that in a video. Yeah, sometimes the remote viewing, sometimes for me it's unintentional. Like at the beginning of this pandemic or whatever, this lockdown, which I predicted it coming, so I wasn't like shocked, you know? I think I was shocked that I was right about it because I got called crazy. But I had a remote viewing or a visual of men sitting in a room around a table. It was, I think it was 4 or 5 of them, I can't remember, and they were laughing about all of this, and they had all these plans behind it. And I openly discussed it And it was the elites I was seeing, and I didn't even know at the time. And then I had a remote viewing of Disney World with like hidden doors where kids got snatched in these doors too. It was weird. It is a big business, but the thing is I think they're trafficking us every day, and we don't even see it. Or they're training us to be slaves for this operation every day, and we don't even see it. So it's like, let's focus on what's in front of us first, you know what I'm saying, and then get to the rest. Because some of it is like to get your mind off what's in front of you. You know what I'm talking about? Well, maybe we will be able to teleport to another galaxy. I don't know. I should probably get off here, guys. It's been 3 hours, and I can hear my kid up. One of my kids is up. And I'm supposed to do a couple readings, but I might have to just wait till tomorrow now. Kind of late here now. Kind of late, so... Yeah, I've seen shows on that. Alright, guys, I'm going to get off here. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.